Peace, family, peace. I should be live now. Okay, yeah, I see the chat room. People starting to come into the chat room. Let me know how the levels are. Let me know how the sound is, family, because I'm trying to get this show going on. Let me know how the sound is. Do you hear me clearly? Is everything coming in? Peace to everybody filling in the chat room right now. This is Brother Rich. Audio is good? Okay. Well, yeah, I got the show, amazing show today, family, with Brother Panic. Before I get into that show, let me just shout out a couple of the brothers advertising on my network. Shout out to Gano. You know, when I upload this on when I upload it, I'm gonna put the ads up because I ain't got the ads together right now. Yeah, I'm gonna put the ads up and I'm gonna put the info in the description bar, all my advertisers. Yeah, I'm using this new software. You know I'm new with this live stream thing. But I got Brother Panic on the platform with me today, man. Welcome back, Brother Panic.
Peace. What's going on, Brother Rich?
Man, I'm happy to have you here. We got this amazing conference coming up with yourself, Dr.
Yes, sir.
Phil Valentine, and Aseer The Duke.
Yes,
So,
sir.
yeah, so I want to tell the family, let me just let y'all know, y'all should be able to see it on the screen right now. It's June 3rd. It's going to be at St. Francis College in Brooklyn, New York. The address is 180 Remsen Street. And for advance tickets, you could go to the Eventbrite website, and the information is on the screen. If you need additional information, you can call me at 646-472-4219. Or to purchase the live stream, you can't make it, you're out of town and you can't make it, you could go to www.usalivestream.com/metaphysical masters. So with that being said, man, Brother Panic, man, I can't wait till June 3rd, my brother.
Yeah, it's going to be a thing. This is good that you put this together. And you know, for a long time in New York, it's good to see some brothers on the stage who's not bickering with each other. So, you know, it's going to be a thing. Aseer The Duke, Dr. Phil Valentine, myself. You know what I mean? And from what I'm told, the subjects they're going to talk about, what I'm going to discuss, we definitely going to bring fire. So it's going to be something you can't miss. I think you should make this extra effort to get there. Even though I'm glad we have these webinar, you'll be able to check it out on the webinar, but make that extra effort to see a live lecture. There's nothing like that. The webinar is the next best thing, but standing there live, there's nothing like that. The energy, the feeling, the family, this is what you want to do. So I definitely, you know, coming to New York, I can't come with nothing less than the best. So that's how I plan on coming. So I can't wait to be there June 3rd. We're going to tear this up.
Let me ask you, Brother Panic, what made you want to get into the study of metaphysics? Like, we all got our beginnings and where we started out with, some historical, some with the conspiracy. What made you want to get involved in what you got involved in, my brother?
Well, ultimately, to be a true occultist or metaphysician, you should be able to look back and remember every single thing in your life has something to do with this purpose. Because what we're talking about is a true purpose, a decision that you made before you even incarnated here. And like I said, we tend to think, because of Martin Luther King Jr., that we all have one black cause. But we're here for many different reasons. So me personally, I came to teach, hands down. And, you know, even before there was a metaphysics, if we were learning how to play the Frisbee, I was the one showing everyone how to play the Frisbee. Right. So I can look back and see purpose all through it. It was just a matter of time. I mean, I can look back. My father was into Eastern philosophy, heavy meditation. So I was on punishment. I had to read those books. There was just always something that said purpose as opposed to luck or just interest, purpose. So it just unfolded that way. Everything just seemed to have lined up with purpose. So I would say the more practical thing, what got me into it, is just the most fascinating thing you can ever, engage in. The try to find out the understanding of your entire purpose for existence, and then the metaphysical or the occult understanding, as I made this decision a very long time ago.
Indeed. Now, why do you think? I look at the position you're in and what you talk about, and I see the condition of our people.
Hmm.
Why is it so hard? Why do you think it's so hard for a person? They're already so-called woke, but to go into the cult, like they, a person could stick their foot in a lot of things. They could get involved in a lot of things, brother Panic. But when it comes to that occult shit, they're like, nah, not that. I could try this. I could try that. I could try this. But that occult, that's going just a little bit too far, my brother. Why is the occult
Understood.
such a, it's like, don't go there. Why is it like that with us, my brother?
Understood. Because what I tend to notice, the most effective thing, if you're in a war and the object is to keep you out of the most effective thing to transform you,
Mm-hmm.
is going to be looked at as the worst thing that you can ever engage in.
Mm.
So you're talking about some baseline understandings that you've been given or programmed or mind controlled into that we cannot get past, or it can be applied to certain forward moving thinking. So we just have this idea of good, bad, dark, light as this evil thing, just straight out from religion and from this idea of everything black is evil, everything white. These are core mind control war tactics. And when you're left alone in a forward thinking situation, you tend to apply what you know. In fact, you have to apply what you know because that's the way your subconscious mind works. It only can deal with what it has convinced itself of or what you have convinced it of and accepted. So these things are a core understanding and a core acceptance. And a cult, just the word alone, people have a problem with. All it means is hidden culture. So it's really just talking about a underground or underworld, or what has been called the underworld way of thinking, to apply actually effective, but let's say the least you can say, effective light way to handle your life. Let's just say that. We
Mm-hmm.
won't even talk about forward. Just the way to handle your life. There's two ways of looking at things. There's a surface way, and then there's a underground way, or a subconscious way, or a subliminal way, or the underworld way. And that's really, or the hidden culture way, the occult way. So the occult is the true understanding or the true science of how we used to manage our reality here. And now in the war scenario, that word and the understanding has been used, has been weaponized against you. So black people who I don't know what they're trying to figure out. They're really, if at the end of the day, all they're really trying to figure out or expand on is what Martin Luther King told them. Really, if you really get down to it, you
Mm-hmm.
know how to do this, how to do that as this unit. But the occult understood you had to understand the nature of yourself. You had to understand where it is you belong in a holistic portion of the universe and this planet for you to be able to even offer something to your people. We have nothing, know nothing, but yet keep talking about offering something to black people. It's ridiculous. It's an oxymoron. If you don't know who you are, what can you even offer to anybody? You can't even offer shit to your family if you don't know in the fuck what you are. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So forget the black race and economics and whatever else that we keep begging white people to understand us for and each other to understand us. You need to understand who you are. And there's a hidden understanding to who you are. There's a true background understanding. We call it the occult understanding or the metaphysical, beyond the physical, thinking that goes beyond or reaches beyond the physical. The connotations now have been connected to evil
Mm-hmm.
or dark,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really pathetic and childish, and it's just an extension of your slave training that must be broken for you to even uh, for you to even be able to make any progress. Because I can speak to my personal progress once I got in the code. All the things that people try to cheerlead and make a wish list for, I've accomplished those with that, my family, and help those around me reach those things. People who said they stopped listening to me and started doing some of the things I said has noticed a major difference in their life. and this is because this is the way. And that's why it's looked at and demonized the most, because it's one of the most effective, if not the most effective way to handle our business.
Indeed. Brother Panic, why do you think you have a different approach from a lot of other, not just speakers, but, you know, there's a lot of groups, let's say the Christian group, this group, the Jehovah group, the conscious group, all these different groups. You're not out there trying to convert nobody. You bring what you bring to the table, and if the people want to take it, they take it. But a lot of people, they really make it an effort to try to convert people. What is it about these people that they want to convert somebody so bad, and you don't really care about converting nobody?
Right, because there's an egotistical Christ complex that most people adopt. You know what I mean? A preacher. This is just another extension of their training about how to do it. This messianic figure, in the misunderstanding of what that means. Martin Luther King was built up and made, and he was made for a reason. He was the idea to keep you focused on something that can never really save you, but you will keep trying to duplicate it in many ways of many different philosophies. Even Malcolm X, to put him in opposition. We're not even talking about the message. Just to put him in that position of opposition, it gives is because not everyone is going to be a Martin Luther King or have that philosophy. But even if you have the same template with a different message, it still does the same damage of having people believe that someone can save you, when the reality is there's only one entity that can save you, and that's yourself. So me understanding that at the core, I don't sell any false tickets of hope, only a reality. And the reality is no one can save you but yourself. So the only thing I can do is hope to help with tools that you can save yourself with. So giving it to you straight is the order of the game. Surprisingly, a lot of black people want to hear that. In a social situation, they love to hear how wonderful and the economy and all the rest of those things that sound good. But when it's just me and them on email, I get thank yous and your welcomes, and they tell me about their personal progress, because socially, I may not fit in 100%, but something speaks to a lot of what's in people's hearts. And you'll know, like I know, I'm just as surprised as you how many people show up without me having to argue and having to kiss their ass and tell them how wonderful and magical they are just because they have melanin. None of that. Never have. And still people want to hear truth. They love to hear socially how wonderful and they're a goddess because they have a vagina. But at the same time, they rather hear someone tell them something real because they understand personally they're not making any progress having their ego appeased or somebody sprinkling sugar all over them every day, telling them, their dreads are wonderful and, you're woke. All of that is nice and a good thing to say, but it's not true progress. True progress, if we're trying to figure out reality here, then you need to hear what's real. And we need to talk about our condition in a very real way. So I'm dedicated to that. Talking about our condition in a very real way. So, because that's the only way we're actually truly going to make something happen. If we keep telling ourselves how wonderful we are, you know what I mean, we're not going to deal with the true mind control that we're suffering from.
We're all familiar when we go to sleep. When we go to sleep and we dream at night, and we understand that it's a dream, and once we dream and we wake up and we go on with our everyday life. What we're coming to realize now is that this thing we call reality is also a dream where God's dreaming. So when we say, when you're dreaming and there might be somebody in your dream, a man or a woman or a family member that's just a family member in the dream or whatever. When you wake up, you're not thinking about the people in that dream. So when somebody leaves this realm, let's say a family member of yours, a family member of mine, do they think about us in this realm? Because this is just the dream realm. So why would they think of somebody that's just in the dream world, just like we don't think about somebody who was in our dream last night or the night before? You get what I'm
Right,
saying?
but definitely. Well, we got to understand everything's happening from our perspective, and everything that we called in the so-called dream is symbolic.
Mm.
And the irony of it all is what we call real life is actually the true dream, and the symbols that are happening that we call our life as Brother Rich, Brother Panic, Sister such and such. That's the actual dream that when we truly wake up from it, it'll be just like it'll go away, as you were talking about, like how we have our dream every night when we go to bed, and it'll be a memory. It'll be the thought is actually what we is the equation that we're trying to figure out, as opposed to something that happened to us as a race of people, as slavery, and as all the rest of those things. Now, your subconscious mind is talking to you through symbols every night you go to sleep, and that's actually a little bit more real than what your ego talks to you all day about as you walk around the planet. So it's got to be switched around. So the dream, or what we call the dream, is actually the true story, or your spirit actually having a true conversation with you while your ego is actually sleeping. The ego is what's awake all day. The ego is actually in the dream. The ego is in the fantasy world. You know what I mean? The ego is the one walking around here with this idea of yourself, this big and bad idea of yourself that doesn't even exist. So panic doesn't exist. What's real and what you're seeing as family members and all the rest of those things are people who are sharing this dream with you. And they're sharing this dream for the purpose of, when it's all said and done, for a true understanding of an equation or a question you answered yourself. Every life is a question, is a long stretched out answer or a long stretched out understanding. So when you wake up from that dream, is all you really doing is studying the answer to a question that you asked called panic, or was answered with someone called Panic or someone called Brother Rich. So it has to be looked at from a different perspective. We have a egocentric perspective, so a dream seems like something that we have, or you know what I mean. It seems like it's all happening from a reaction to from the ego, but the true idea is actually it's all the other stuff that we call the fantasy, the dream, the daydream, the aha moments, and all of those. That's actually a taste of what's real, a taste from the world of the real. Mm-hmm. So we actually have to turn it around. The occult understanding we have to turn around, and what this is, it's a way or understanding. Let's take the escalator, sweetie. It's a way or understanding of how we actually start to investigate and understand the nature of the ego by first putting it in its proper perspective, not giving it the spotlight in our mind that we have been giving it. Like, most people want to say black people because they just mad at white people. It's the ego thing. Because then when you sit down and get to it, they don't really even care about black people on a certain kind of level. And if you really, and you know, I don't really even have to say much for just by your laugh. Yeah, that's a clear understanding of that. I don't even have to go into detail. It's just really what they're just mad at is that they heard about slavery. You know, like with this Kanye West nonsense. Like conscious people shouldn't even be entertaining that ignorance. You get what I'm saying? There was a time we would talk about the madness of him and wouldn't even have to deal with the details. Everything's a choice. Smoking crack is a choice. but I don't see how today's black people could be so flip about saying, yeah, we all had a choice and I would have made this or that choice when it did nothing. You go to work every day now. You know what I'm saying? You pay your rent and your bills now without protest. You make a choice to do that now. You're a slave now. By the standard of the Moors, you're an absolute slave now. So you're a slave now. I don't get this. So these type of, see, when you run out of stuff, and there's nothing happening internally, you find yourself entertaining dumb motherfuckers who's trying to sell their albums.
Mm.
And that's the sad part, because metaphysics runs into an end. Because if I had to say there was a difference, which is not really, but let's say for the sake of this argument, metaphysics and the occult. Metaphysics is beyond the physical, and it talks in detail beyond the physical. But the occult is actually actively working within the on self. Let's just say that it's actually having self-realizations. It's actually dealing with methodology, and that could be almost never ending, virtually never ending. Metaphysics, you run out of stuff to talk about. After you finish talking about it and nothing's happening, you find yourself feeling the same way you do with just a lot more information. And then you find yourself talking about everything else, but you find yourself talking about conspiracies and Kanye West and all the rest of the stuff that is absolutely worthless because there's nothing to do. So I always urge and always stress methodology, straight methodology, straight something to do so you can have self-realization. It's all about aha moments. It's all about breakthroughs. This arguing about Kanye West is just nothing more than bickering about an idiot, a clear idiot. He's under mind control. If you study MK Ultra, he's the classic alter. He's the classic. The Kardashians is a coven of witches. Like, this is common knowledge. Before he gets down to something that's supposed to be so deep, this is common knowledge. He coming out with blonde hair. Like, I mean, like, let's say he's supposed to be talking about freedom. He only made the opposite choice from Obama, who called him a jackass. That's the only reason he's standing it. This is all pathetic. This is all pathetic. And it's scary pathetic. And just to see conscious people even involving themselves in this it shows that we ran out of stuff to do. We ran out of stuff to do. And this is why we have to turn this attention back on ourselves and understand guys like Kanye West is lost. Even if it's not in his consciousness, it's just that he's selling rap music. He's a businessman. And we need to understand just the nature of that. He's saying things to get your attention. And the mere fact that he can get conscious people's attention, this would never fly before. That's because we ran out of stuff to do. It went on blast once we got on Facebook, and this thing went to the internet level. This thing just ran itself out into nowhere. And we find ourselves talking about this stuff to try to entertain each other with it, and it's actually really pathetic. Really pathetic. And all of this is because of one small thing. We are not turning this understanding or this study inwardly into our own personal understanding of who and what we are for the purpose of our own transformation. We're trying to do this as a unified or a group, as some sort of a group effort, and it's not working. It never has worked. What were we? 7? I'll be in a second. We're trying to do this as a group effort. Yeah, I'm trying to concentrate. Let me get in a place where I can concentrate.
Okay.
All right, so now we're trying to do this as some sort of group effort, and it's not working. So what we need to do is understand the nature and understand when we say the word occult, it just really means you were born here by yourself, and you came with a question. And you need to figure that one out by yourself. It's not going to happen as a group of black people. Mm-hmm. We have nothing to offer. We don't know who we are. We're looking towards, it's the blind leading the blind. We're looking towards blind men to lead us. Mm-hmm. And we see this all the time. You see YouTube people having nervous breakdowns. But just the year before, we were looking to them for all the answers. Mm-hmm. And now they're having nervous breakdowns. And this is because it's not designed to work this way. This is all this is something you are supposed to figure out yourself. And I know it seems like hard or vague, but it's not. No one's never once tried. We've always looked in answers from other folks. We always looked for answers as a group, or we're looking for this one answer that satisfies us all. This is not how it's done. Out of all the occult books I've ever read, I've never seen the words we, us, and once we do this. When I started looking at it, I started to see, damn, because all my life I've been trained, we's the people, us, our people, your people, we should be doing this, what we need, how we should do it. Once black men do this, or once black women do that, and black women are always this, and we need black women to do that. You've always heard and talked in terms of that. And then when I started reading more and more occult books, you don't see that. You almost feel guilty. I felt guilty. Like, heck, this is selfish. And I've said it to you. Ironically, I've saved more black people not trying to save black people than trying. All that you say this, once you said this changed my life. I was able to do this. I've seen it this way. They're having self-realizations as opposed to these group realizations that never happen. That's never happened. You could find once you find 10 black people to say one thing, you can find 10 black people to say another thing. It just never works out. This is not the way to go from the occultist standpoint. This is about levels in your consciousness. And why you'll never hear me try to convince anybody or recruit anybody is because I'm under the true understanding that you can't recruit anybody because this is about levels. You can speak this in the Kabbalion, in fact, it says, where the footsteps fall of the masters, such and such will follow, or I'm paraphrasing the next statement in the Kabbalion, but it's pretty much saying to the ears, it pretty much falls on deaf ears. No matter how well you explain yourself and how elegant you say it, if the person is not ready, it falls on deaf ears. And then, of course, when the student's ready, the teacher appears. This is all ways of saying, in the occult understanding, this is all ways of saying you cannot take someone who's not ready, no matter how eloquent you speak to it, no matter how plainly you speak to it, and they will hear your message. It falls on deaf ears. They have to be ready to hear the message. So the only thing I could do is just keep the message pure in terms of my occult understanding. And someone else who reads the occult will have their understanding. Bobby Hemmett had his way of doing his thing based upon his occult understanding. And if he has or feels he should be teaching it, or you get what I'm saying. So there's no way you can rescue anyone with the occult. You can rescue them with a good speech that feels good. And we know that doesn't even physically change their economic situation. It doesn't really rescue them. It just makes them feel good about what they're doing. It makes them feel morally engaged when you say black people and, our people and, we for the cause, we in the struggle. All of them fucking words we're used to saying, but has yielded us nothing until we now have turned in on ourselves and started just arguing with ourselves. Because we are not going to deal with any active enemy or any active situation that is an enemy to us. We don't deal with none of it. So we just start dealing with each other. Start just fighting each other in the sandbox because we can't get out of that sandbox. And, I mean, that's clear reality. I don't even have to – that's not a stretch. That's obvious. So the occultist doesn't play in that sandbox. The occultist has gone beyond the mind control that was given to us, starting with Dr. Martin Luther King. I mean, it was simple. We was starting our own towns. To make it quite simple, white supremacy, you had the white elite that owned slaves, and then they had overseers, a bunch of poor white trash that be willing to crack the whip. For the poor white trash to do their job, they had to psychologically feel that they were more advanced than the Negro. No matter what shit they were eating, They just didn't need as much shit as the Negro. So as we're in so-called freedom, what you had was blacks starting to surpass poor whites. This upset the balance. So they started saying, we can't, let's forget this separation. We need to segregate these places. And what that did was absorb what was starting to be momentum for black people as each one of us had to be a butcher, baker, or a candlestick maker, and then came together as a community. We couldn't just come together as a community and nobody had no fucking skill. We would all cultivate a skill, then came together as a town, and then we could say, oh, this community this and community that, after we did a certain amount of work. But as we were starting to surpass poor whites, this upset the balance of the system. So then they gave us Martin Luther King and said, no, we need to go to their schools. No matter how great you make coffee, it's better to drink coffee at Woolworths and get it thrown in your face. And then then what they need is an opposition. Then they put Malcolm X in the Nation of Islam in opposition of the civil rights movement. It's the same Democrat, Republican. It's the same. The ironic thing is black people debating is a total adaptation, or I should say, we adopted straight white supremacist thought. They need opposition. For every Democrat, there has to be a Republican for it to work. So for us to just keep putting ourselves in these places of argument and opposition, that's white supremacist tactics right there, then and there. We can't even see we started to see the common thread when we came together in what we call the early conscious movement. Every single person that is now arguing had a seat in consciousness. In fact, they were elevating past whatever pathway or religion they were in, and they were starting to see that common thread in consciousness. Now it's been divided again because that's what government did. So when somebody says you're a government agent or the government is in it, yeah, because they're applying their tactics to what was consciousness. When a Moor in a Nuwabian used to be able to sit down together and find something that was in common, now they gotta argue. So you have to ask yourself, who's the first ones to start promoting these arguments? Who are they? And look at the lineage of what they were doing. And then this is something you may say, well, who are agents? What are agents? What would be the role of an agent? And I wasn't so flip about using agents and this, that, the other. And I'm gonna talk about this as well. I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna save it for June 3rd. I don't want to go too far into what I'm gonna talk about on June 3rd. I'm gonna give it to you. But we need to question more of our psychological. We need to be able to step back and question psychologically how we're operating. And if you could see that, we're falling into so many traps. Kanye West could say something, and all of a sudden, everybody who's supposed to be conscious is actually factoring this in. When 5 minutes ago, he was just ranting on stage like a madman, and we thought he was gone. He's with a white woman, and he's dyeing his hair blonde. So why are we listening to that guy? There was a time he wouldn't even factor in. You know what I'm saying? But they want to love rap music so bad. They want to try to make something intelligent so bad because they have nothing to do. Like I said, the occult will always give you something to do because there's always something about yourself you can realize. When you're just sitting around talking about social issues, it'll just be one thing that entertain you from the next. Consciousness is now the love and hip hop of the game. It's terrible. So we have to get back to a core understanding. We have to get back to being able to step outside of the box and investigate, as opposed to we're trying to investigate with an emotional attachment to what's happening. You get what I'm saying?
Right. With
emotional attachment to what's happening. We have to now be able to step out and investigate. That's what a scientist does. He observes. So we have to be able to observe Kanye West and see what's really going on. He doesn't know nothing about Trump or Trump's policy. None of these niggas know about slavery. You're a slave right now. You say that all the time. You're still a slave. They call your job the plantation. That's a choice, but I don't see nobody quitting their job in droves. And that's just your job. We don't see them burning down nothing, tearing up nothing, doing nothing. They're going along with this shit, debating and making fucking YouTubes. So you're a slave right now. So I don't get this, and I don't get conscious people even factoring this in. This is not even intelligence to me. Forget spirituality. This is not even intelligence. So we're in a sad place. We're in a sad place. That's because we're running out of stuff to talk about. We're letting it. There was a time this was a smaller group, and the prerequisite for being in this group, it actually took a little bit more than just saying Hotep. You know what I'm saying? And I think we need to step that game up. I think we need to step. So I talk about, and I'm going to talk about in New York. I'm going to talk about, how we look on the outside, what's really happening on the bigger picture. There's a bigger picture besides the white man, in terms of what is true slavery. Your humanity itself is true slavery. Your humanity itself is true slavery. Your choice here, your choice is actually to become conscious and transcend your human thought and your human condition, or you buy into your human condition. So from my perspective, the true slave is trying to come up with an economic plan for black people, is trying to come up with better jobs and businesses for black people, is trying to come up with a better life for your children, is trying to respect and protect grandmothers and babies, because all you're really trying to do is buy into the human condition. And there's scholarship after scholarship, primarily Gnosticism, even the Kemetic thing that people pretend to follow. Everything they left in terms of a hieroglyph was how to die and never come back. So I didn't see anything about an economic plan, a diet, the no GMO doctrine, how to raise your kids. All of the stuff that we're talking about is later day stuff that white people have given you the problem that you're trying to fix. It's the best case scenario, all you ever became was a white man. At the end of the day, you're using this is his system. I don't hear nobody trying to overthrow his system. I don't hear nobody saying an economic plan. Our definition of economy needs to be questioned now, because that's even been given to you. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is trying to buy stocks. They're like nigga, that's their shit. You know what I'm saying? So we need to reevaluate. I could go on for days and rant for days, but I think we need to step back and reevaluate. We buy into too many things that are actually given to us, and then we think we're answering intelligently, but at the core of it, the problem itself was given to you by your enemy. See, white people don't factor in us when they make their moves. They only factor us in terms of how we would act and react to their shit and how much it would be a bother to them. Everything we do, we say a white man. That alone is how you're defeated. You walk through the door, even with your intelligence, talking about how we're going to win, still factor in your white oppressor as this dominant figure that you must somehow overcome or figure out or get beyond. He doesn't do that with you. We need to figure out how to get beyond black men for a better economy. They don't say that. We just need to figure out how to get them out the way without them fucking complaining, pretending that they're doing something, but just complaining about what we do, because they're doing whatever they do. We have to step out of them, and arguing with each other ain't going to get it. We're going to have to figure out a common understanding and understand that there are many ways to get there. There's no one way to get there, and this was starting to happen in consciousness. And then that was that. You will find people came from all walks of black thought and sat under certain teachers, Brother Bobby, Brother Phil, Health, Dr. Africa C. Freeman now, Dr. Joe Polkrams, and the list goes on. And
well, let me You named some names there. Dr. Jewel Pookrum, C. Freeman L. Bobby Hemming, of course. And you're dealing with this occult perspective. And I was just reading. I forgot what book was that. What's the name of that book? Something called something about the light body. And when you're into this metaphysical information, you constantly hear about the light and how we're light body beings, and we have to activate our light. When somebody hears your information and you continue to talk about the darkness, it may get confusing to somebody coming into this information because they're trying to figure out, well, wait, just like the Star Wars, wait, where do I go, to the dark side or to the light side? It's like it always seems like you got to pick one. So could you talk to me about going to the light versus going to this darkness that you talk about a lot?
That's perfectly said, because that's exactly what I was talking about earlier. We have this Republican versus Democrat, light versus dark. Mind you, in the Egyptian thing that they talk about, there's the law of polarity. I think it's the fifth law of polarity, fifth, I think. And like and unlike are the same, and that's at the core. So what they're talking about is what we perceive as opposites is actually the same thing. So dark and light is actually just one thing. Out of darkness comes light. Darkness and light is a process. Darkness, we have now been regulated because white men have taught you this through religion, that darkness equals evil and light equals good. It's ridiculous. Where that comes from originally is polarity of negative and positive. Negative now has mean bad and good, but negative just meant feminine, which means to draw in or pull towards you, and positive means to push away. And we're talking magnetism. That's what that's all we're really talking. That's what they're arguing about, magnetism. There's only two things you could possibly do on this planet: attract that which you want and repel that which you don't. So so the process of darkness in the occult, not in Christianity or religion, which people are applying this to. I'm speaking of the occult. Darkness means that which is unknown. That which is unknown. For all these people who are trying to figure some shit out, the darkness is your house, because that's where you play in with that which is unknown. The light represents that which is known. I found the light. That just means you're in an understanding. Out of darkness comes light. Out of darkness comes light. To be a light being, you must go into that which is unknown to make it known. That's exactly what you're doing. Every time you open a book and didn't know what the shit meant, and now you know, you did the process of darkness and the light. That's all it means in the occult. Nothing more, nothing less, nothing deeper. It's the process. Religion made that bullshit deeper. And again, so all that whole rant I was talking about in the beginning is more of exactly what I'm talking about. White people have defined or have a definition over your mind socially, and while we're arguing the dynamics of it, we're not able to step out and look at what's actually happening. So I'm able to step out and look what's happening. What I see is black people who have been so religified by white men, they don't even understand their natural process. Osiris is the lord of the underworld, the dark master, the dark side shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So everybody wants to be Osiris and all of this. He's the dark side because his sun represents the light side. Out of darkness comes light. Out of father comes the sun. Out of night comes the sun. We see it all the time. Yeah. They're trying to tell you a process. You give them saying you can't have the sunlight without darkness. So they are one and the same. The polarity is the way to master, or the Hermetic master, to master the law of polarity, he becomes the middle point. He understands like and unlike are the same. Therefore, I understand both sides of the argument. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I understand both sides of the argument. So that takes the uncanny ability to step out and not be personally involved. Now, I have compassion and I do have a personal opinion about shit that goes on, but I'm not letting it consume me to where I can't do my work. You get what I'm saying? So, if we're going to say he was made in a cave, and he has no melanin, and he ain't got this, he can't stand in the sun, and da 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 da, then you would have to understand why he does what he does. You're not condoning why he does what he does. You're not co-signing or helping what he does, but you at least can understand it. And then you got to understand what we do and why we do it. And then if you understand what we should be doing by understanding polarity, you will understand we're not even in opposite polarity. What we're trying to do is a bad rendition of mimicking him. Everything we're trying to do is what is his idea of success, of his idea of a successful economy, or our idea of successful housing, the big house on the hill. That's his idea of housing. And so we think we're successful if we do that, and we have these businesses. He has a movie theater, movie company, so we need to make our own successful movie companies. No, we need to tear all of this shit down, because they've been classically from day one using movies to mind control since it's gotten here. So we need to make movies with mind control in it now? We're just doing what he's doing. Or do we need to stop all of this altogether and reform the world into our reality? All we're trying to do is co-sign and expand on his reality. And this is because a core understanding, this is a core understanding in everything. One of the basic laws of polarity are the negative, positives, darkness, light. We have changed it to good and evil. So darkness represents that which is unknown, which can, with ignorance attached to it, which is what we have, becomes fear. So when you hear people talking about fear or darkness and Baphomet and whatever thing it is, this fear is only a testimonial to their ignorance and their ignorance on how to make it light, or that they're just too dumb. They're either too dumb to understand the process or too scared to understand the process to be able to make something happen, be able to look into that darkness to make it light. You make darkness light. You make darkness light. So that's the process. And like I said, no one knows this based upon religion. So we have to understand the religion, the motif of religion, the gist of religion. We're too busy arguing the logistics of these things. It's not really about the logistics, because you will argue all day about that. That comes into the realm of opinion. What you need to argue is about the social impact of these things. And then you have to apply it to our ancient understanding and how we see the world. We talk about it all the time. Osiris represents the darkness. Haru represents the light. You get what I'm saying? You've seen it all the time. Satan and Jesus are the same thing, just different polarities. Mm-hmm. They connected Eve with evil based upon her having a vagina. The vagina represents the darkness. It's unknown. It's that hole. It's that black hole. The penis is all in your face. It represents positivity or positive or it's like I said, it's what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, it's coming at you. Let's look at that way. And the vagina is coming in. These things come together as one understanding. One understanding. That understanding represents the child. That understanding represents the child of what was formerly unknown to what is known. Is a child of that. That child becomes your ultimate understanding. So the more and more you deal with darkness into light, the more understanding you have. And I see we're suffering from a lack of understanding of who and what we are. And that's because it's how we were trained to understand darkness. We have a white man's understanding of it, or what white man has given you. And we only talking about 1% of white men. The average white person on the street don't know shit. And they're no more threat than just their participation in white supremacy. There's 1% of white people who do know, and know exactly what the fuck they're doing. And that matches pretty much the 1% of us who know exactly what the fuck we're doing in terms of our consciousness. And we're doing a hell of a flop-ass job, I'm going to tell you that, because we haven't really dealt with certain social things that are just so basic that it's actually really scary. Like the shit that I'm still dealing with, just to hear conscious people who teach, still talking about Kanye West.
Mm-hmm.
They're either doing it because they're ignorant or they're doing it because they know others are ignorant and want to hear about it, and they're trying to get likes and attention, which is just as sad.
Well, I definitely, I know you getting ready to go to the movies with your queen.
Yeah, it's all good. I didn't want to see this movie anyway. Yeah, I didn't want to see this movie anyway.
But I definitely want the people to come out June 3rd. So I don't want you to, I don't want to get too advanced on them tonight. So I want you to just let the people know what can they expect June 3rd for those who tuned in late.
All right, so we're going to talk about, well, on June 3rd, we're going to talk about something a little bit more expansive on this in a little bit more detail about the simulation. And I'm going to show you not only are we in a simulation, which they are now starting to admit that we had names for this already. This was the ancient understanding. So this is old news, but we're going to talk about why they now have to admit this to you, what's happening. And I'm going to point out that it's even us that's actually driving it. So even after all the social things I talked about, spiritually, we still are running this. And I'm going to point out that we're still running it even in our ignorance. So I'm going to go hard on the simulation. I'm going to go hard on how they're trying to socially program this simulation. So because what's about to be revealed or what's being revealed, it won't be such a social, it won't be such a psychological blow as we start to see more and more things start to manifest that we would call, that we would once have called amazing, that is now going to start to be normal. Mm. So the matrix is starting to unwind, and I'm going to explain to you that it's actually us unwinding, not Collider, not none of that. In fact, they're showing you that to make you believe that it's them that's doing it. Right. We give them all the power. We give them all the power. I'm going to talk about my boy B.O.B., how I'm standing there with him while everybody's saying he's a clone.
Oh, yeah. I see,
we have all these...
I see on his Instagram, yeah.
Yeah. I'm standing there with him while he personally deleted, because he's like, man, I'm tired of these guys. He's like, well, I won't put words in his mouth, but I'm there with him. We chilling. We in Sedona, and I'm seeing this. I always was suspect about everyone's a clone, and all I can see psychologically, you got to give the explanation. Always goes to the white man. We have to figure out ways to empower him, even though he's doing nothing. And because of prior programming, all he has to do is sit back and let us keep giving him the fucking glory. And we do that. And I've seen this firsthand now. Before I was always suspect of it, but now I've seen it firsthand. Well, I'm like, everybody's going crazy. He's a clone. I'm like, man, me and this nigga is one of the illest niggas I met in consciousness so far. Mm-hmm. So, we're going to talk about that. The only reason he's not showing up in New York is he's going to be in Japan. Okay. But boy, did he want to come. So if anything changes, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're going to see if we can get him to come.
Definitely, indeed.
But we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about a lot of stuff.
Okay, man. So once again, everybody, June 3rd, it is going down. Gathering of the Metaphysical Masters, Dr. Phil Valentine, Brother Panic, Aseer The Duke of Tears. I want to thank you for coming on the show, Brother Panic, and enjoy the movies. What movies y'all going to see tonight?
We're going to see Traffic. Like I said, I don't even know what that is. So I'm good. But I'm gonna go in and check it out. Traffic with Omar Epps. We've seen all the Avengers and all the rest of that crap. So
Okay. I will enjoy the movies, my brother, and I will talk to you soon.
yes, sir, brother Rich. We'll talk soon.
All right, peace.
Peace.
All right, family. That was Brother Panic on the live stream. My family out there in the internet world, out there in YouTube. I think I might take a few callers. The brother was going to see the movies, but we wanted to give the family something real quick. Thanks to Panic Spitting B Paulie in the chat room for hitting up the super chat and giving a donation. Panic Spitting Fire, yes indeed, he sure is. So yeah, I definitely, let me see if I could turn up my volume a little bit so y'all can hear me. Yeah, I want to make sure y'all hear me good. Damn, it don't look like my volume's being turned up. I hope my volume's good, y'all can. Okay, yeah, that might have turned it up too much there. Yeah, I'm gonna take some calls from the family. If you call, I want you to, this is a metaphysical conversation. So when you do call, I want you to let me know what are you looking forward to for June 3rd. This event that is happening June 3rd. I gotta find this number. I don't even. You know how you buy one of them apps? I got one of them apps where you get the second phone number, and yeah. Right now I'm trying to let me give y'all. Hey y'all, hold on real quick, y'all. Yeah, let me put that up there. Yeah, so I'm looking for this app. I think I'm gonna take a few calls for the family calling in. I want you to let me know, what are you expecting June 3rd? Well, this is a metaphysical conversation. Let me know, how has getting involved in metaphysics and the occult, how has it benefited your life? So with that being said, let me turn this down. With that being said, the calling number is, what is the calling number, family? Let me see. I'm going to tell you right now. The calling number is 718-865-8514. So those who want to call in, I'm going to put that in the chat room. 718-865-8514. For those who want to call in. And you can call in. We're going to chop it up and we're going to talk real quick, family. But yeah, it's going to go down June 3rd, man. New York has not seen nothing like this, man. I mean, Dr. Phil, Valentine, Brother Panic, Aseer The Duke of Tears. Ain't nothing ever been in New York like this, So especially in the black community. You know what inspired me to do it? In the white community, they have like all these New Life expos. And they have these big expos where they go to like New Yorker hotel. And the whole day they have an event. They charge like $300 or something like that, man. And everybody from all over the country comes out, and they just, they get it popping. So I'm saying to myself, I'm like, damn, man, we need something like this for the metaphysical community. Hold on, let me make sure I got this. Yeah, I'm like, we need something like this for the metaphysical community, the black metaphysical community. So, that's what really gave me the idea to put it together. And also, just me personally knowing how much it has helped my life, learning to know thyself. If there's two words that I could say sums up what life is all about, it's know thyself. And when I say that, I mean that from a personal perspective, not just history. Because when you say know thyself, people might think you talking about history or something like that, and that's cool. But what I'm talking about is you the individual, because we're all different. We all have different fingerprints for a reason. So we're all on a different mission. We're all on a different journey. Our souls all on a different journey. So it's like nobody could tell you exactly what you're here for but you. Not myself, not Brother Panic, not Bobby Hemmett, not Phil Valentine, not anybody. So, it sounds cheesy, but like, that's like the ultimate. That's like the ultimate thing right there. But Let me just I'm trying to see if anybody in the family calling. I hope I got this thing set up right. I want to take a few calls. If not, then I'll just end the live stream and let this upload for the people to view. But yeah, call in 718-865-8514. If you got something on your mind from a metaphysical perspective, we got the event happening June 3rd. Let me take the first caller, family. Okay, the first caller hung up, family, so we ain't got the first caller. Let me take another caller, family. All right, family, welcome to the show. This brother Rich, you on the Underground Railroad. What you got to say to the family?
Yo, what's up? This is Power Justice from Maryland on the outside of D.C. I've been listening to you for a long time, Brother Rich. And I think that it's really cool, the fact that we have like a whole nother lecture coming together. And just like Brother Panic was saying, it's not about brothers bickering. Because if you go back in the past, we had that issue with, Khalid and... it was Khalid and
That Bobby Hemming. Bobby Hemming, right? Yeah.
Right, Bobby Hemming. Yeah. So the whole thing is like now it's so dope that we have everybody on the same path. And man, you never surprise me, Brother Rich, because I don't know if it's your psychic ability or what the situation is, but you always seem to ask the right question. It's just like it's really wild. And I actually talked to the last time you put up, I don't want to get her name wrong, but EO, Tommy.
Oh, the sister.
Teo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Off of your suggestion, as he dropped me some knowledge to help me on my path. So now I'm moving forward on my path, and I got to go ahead and show her love and go ahead and give her due. But that's all because of you, man, and I'm glad that everything is moving forward. I dropped a few donations off, but the main thing I can say is that I really hope that the family actually takes the trip to Brooklyn, especially if you're like in the DMV area or already on the East Coast. It's imperative that we do this because I think the first thing is that being online, you don't know that there's alikes around. Like you can see the comments and whatnot, but it's way more powerful because I went to the last Million Man March, and the amount of energy that was circulated around that was crazy. So, but to this, with people that are supposed to be on a higher level of thought, should be even more amazing. So, with that being said, that's really what I'm looking forward to, and come hell or high water, I'm definitely going to be there.
Dope,
without
man.
a doubt.
Dope, man. Well, I appreciate your support and the call, my brother, and hopefully I will see you June 3rd. Thanks for the call, brother.
Always, without a doubt.
All right, peace. Yeah, shout out to the caller for calling in, man. That was a lot of love. Yo, that dude, he remembers that was way back in the day when Khalid Muhammad, Bobby Hemmett, they had like a little skirmish, I think, at the one of the original gathering of the masters. And for those that know, they was there. I was too young, I wasn't there, but I heard about it. But we gonna go on to the next call. Peace, family. Thanks for tuning in to Underground Railroad Productions. What you got to say to the family?
Good day.
You got to turn your TV down, sis, because it's like an echo.
Yeah. Much love to you, Brother Rich.
All right.
Really happy that the conference is coming up. I wasn't able to make it to New York, so I bought a live stream ticket.
Okay.
And I'm really looking forward to that. I've been following Phil Valentine for over 5 years online, and also Bobby Hemmett, who I know Brother Panic was a student of, and then he's involved, and now I've been checking out Brother Panic. So, this is, I don't know the other guy, and I'm looking forward to, seeing what he has to say in regards to metaphysics. But yeah, I'm excited, because I was watching Blair and Francis Scott Wesley, you know,
Francis Cress Wilson. Yeah.
yeah, you know, and so it's just nice to see this coming again because we really need it right now.
Indeed.
Now the other question you asked was, how does metaphysics help me personally?
Mm-hmm.
And why am I excited about it? The reason why I started watching all these different people was because I wasn't aware of the different depths that they go into to pull the wool over your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's wild. You know, you're in a room full of 300 people, and you look around and you don't know anybody in there that knows what you know once you start studying this stuff. I got into it trying to just keep my sanity. And I was deciphering my own world, trying to figure out what happened to me personally. Was looking at food and medications, was looking at how the mental health system, and was looking at how foods and stuff like that affect the body and how they affected me. You know, then I started looking up natural health remedies, and, you know, one thing led to another. That I got into deeper metaphysics with Phil Valentine and, you know, Dr. Blair, and, you know, it just kept unraveling this thing, you know, with the government's doing and stuff. I never thought that I was important enough for anybody to want to do anything to me. That's what they teach us.
Right.
You know, the slavery mentality, we're not worth anything. But on the backside, they're still in our organs, they're still in our ideas, you know, and the whole system is built upon the ancient systems and knowledges that came from the melanated people. And so I found value, and that gave me a hunger to look deeper also. And so these scholars, these metaphysical teachers, you know, they brought a lot of security and comfort to me because I didn't find it in the Bible. You know, I grew up with Christianity. I even became a Sunday school teacher, and I thought, well, gee, you know, the naughty girl gets the Sunday school teacher badge, and, you know, you're in the church and you're in college and you're raising your children, and now everything's cool. But something was always wrong, and I always had questions. And like Brother Panic was saying, they always want you to be exactly like the next guy. That always bothered me, this carbon copy thing, you know, and I always had to know, why does everybody have to be exactly the same? And so the psychology was actually to save my own sanity, studying psychology, and studying behavioral modification, you know, looking at laws and rules and the way things fit together, trying to figure out, well, why are these people messing with me? And the more I moved forward to correct my life, to get on top, as we would say, to do the grind and to try to find myself someplace in this nowhere space for us, right? It was just none of it was making sense to me until you put the science and the metaphysics to it, and you find out about COINTEL, and you find out about the PSYOPs, and you find out about, I thank Red Pill and Blue Pill for Fear of a Black More Messiah, you know, and the Law 44, you know, you know.
Well, listen, sis. Well, because I got to get to a couple of more calls before I end the broadcast. But I definitely, man, I want to thank you for calling in and sharing that story with us. And it's important. It's important, exactly what you said. You know, I'm glad that this, you know, helped you out with, as far as your sanity. It did the same for me, sis. So
I've been being stalked, so you know, that's a story that you don't have time to know, but it helped me to know that I wasn't crazy, and that's important.
Right. Indeed.
So, yeah.
Thanks for the call,
All
sis.
right.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right,
Much
peace.
love to you.
Peace.
No.
All right, family. That was a dope story from the sister right there. I'm gonna take a few more calls. I want y'all to call in. We talking about the Metaphysical Conference happening June 3rd. I want to make sure y'all come out. Make sure y'all come out June 3rd, family. Make sure y'all come out June 3rd. We're not gonna get nothing like this for a long time, probably, man. From Dr. Valentine, Brother Panic, and Aseer The Duke. So let me go on to the next call. Peace, family. Welcome to the show. What you got to say to the family? I'm trying to fix it. Yeah, what's good, brother?
Oh, what's good, G? Oh, snap, I'm on. Hey, I'm calling out of Dallas. Yeah, man, hey, keep doing your thing, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we talking about the conference, brother. What you got to say about this conference going on, brother?
Man, I'm looking up tickets right now, G. I'm trying to figure out how I'm getting from Dallas to New York right now. So I'm excited that you got you got Panic and Phil Valentine. You know what I'm saying? I just got hip to Aseer because of, you know what I'm saying, because of promotion. So I've been peeping out his videos and everything he talking about. I like, you know what I'm saying, stuff he be saying. So that's gonna be dope. And
there's gonna be people with products there that you won't get nowhere in the world but there. Like, people are coming in from all over the country with products. Like, the vendors, like, they're coming in with products that's exclusive. We're gonna have food from people from Dr. Sabi's you know, his people, Queen of Forward's people. I mean, it's gonna be off the hook, brother. I think we might even have Cambatta, the Cambatta perform. So we might have some entertainment. Sure. The brother Cambatta also might perform. But yeah, it's gonna be off the hook, man. But so definitely try to make it, brother. Now, so let me ask you, brother. So you study metaphysics? Like, you into that?
Yeah. Yes, sir. I went out to the to KT Vegan Gene when he had that out here. I got some of his cooking. You know, it was good. It was good. It was good. But yeah. I'm into that.
Dope.
But it's through UG. You know what I'm saying? The Underground Railroad, the Black Magic 363, because through Dick not Dick Valentine, through Dick Gregory, I heard about this the Black Magic 363, and because of you know what I'm saying, in your platform, I heard about Phil Valentine and then Bobby Hemmett and Brother Panic. So you know what I'm saying, like in a major way, you know what I'm saying. I just became a Patriot member like a couple months ago. I'm trying to donate, you know what I'm saying, as much as I can. So because without this platform, I wouldn't even be on the metaphysics. I'd still be, you know what I'm saying, just thinking I'm thorough. You know what I'm saying? So.
Right.
Yeah, man.
I mean, like the brother Panic said. I mean, when you get into this, and when we say know thyself, man, it's a personal journey, man. There's something you're supposed to do, brother, that nobody knows but you. And when you get involved in this and this information, that's what it's supposed to lift the veil. You're supposed to figure that out. Like, you know, so it's all about yourself, brother. At the end of the day, the better you could be, the better you are for everybody else. So be the best version of yourself, my brother. And I want to thank you for calling in.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, brother.
All right, peace.
Peace.
Yeah, once again, family, the calling number. Wait, let me take this call. Y'all know what the calling number is by now. Peace, family. Welcome to Underground Railroad. What do you have to share with your family? You know we got the event coming up June 3rd.
How you doing, man? Am I on the call?
Peace. Your family, you live. Family, what's good?
Oh, what's up, brother Rich? Yo, respect, love. How you doing, man? I really love the show, man. I be watching you all the time, listening. I really love the knowledge. I had some questions, man, listening to what everybody's been calling and talking about.
Yeah.
So the chick, she was the lady that just called in. She was talking about being in a room when it's like 300 people and you're the only one with that knowledge. What do you do when you out there in public and you have all this knowledge? Like, because I be feeling like I don't know how to utilize it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I just feel eyes on me.
Like what do you mean? How to utilize it at that moment, or utilize it in
like for instance, any type of day, bro. Like, I could go out on a random day. I'm gonna be straight up. I met Lawrence Fishburne on a random day, and this dude was talking to me like I was the famous person. I asked him if we were in the Matrix, like real shit. I'm dead ass. I'm trying to come to the show and meet y'all too. I really like y'all. Y'all are some cool dudes. But yeah, like, I just find it hard to like utilize this occult information when I'm dealing with normal people, like, because they don't know what the hell I'm thinking, and if I were to try to explain it to them, they'd be thinking I'm crazy. Like if I told them about melanin and star seeds and shit, they'd think I'm fucking bugging.
Right, right. I think what I think is the first mistake we make when we come across this knowledge is that we want to teach somebody, and there's nothing wrong with teaching somebody, but I think if we try to perfect it internally, our behavior would be the teaching mechanism. And when you trying to tell a girl or tell a dude about star seeds and this and that, it's not going to get them as much as them seeing you be that Christ energy, them seeing you be that star seed. And they be like, yo, how this nigga able to maneuver like that? Why are good things always happening to him? Why is he always in a good mood? Why is he healthy? They're gonna start questioning, like, why is this dude his aura so big? He's so magnetic. And that's what gets them. It's not the words, it's them observing you, just like with a child. A child doesn't learn from what you tell them to do. A child learns from what you do, and then they know what to do. And we always got that wrong. Like, it was the same when we was young. The parents used to say, do as I say, not as I do. Yeah. And we've been taught that, and that's wrong. Like, we have to do it. And then once they see you do it, then you're going to get them. You ain't got to worry about being weird, because you're going to be the man then. You know what I'm saying? So just perfect it. Yeah, just perfect it. Perfect it internally, my brother.
I respect that. I love that, brother. Thank you.
No problem, brother. Thanks for calling. Yo, you coming out June 3rd?
Most definitely, bro. I'm out in Massachusetts, but I'm going to try my best to come out there. I just got out of school, so I'm ready. Been plotting on this.
Okay, brother. I'm going to see you then, all right? Make sure you introduce yourself to me.
I will.
All right, brother.
My name's Chris, by the way.
Okay, Chris. All right, peace, brother.
All right, take care, bro. Peace.
Peace, family. Welcome to Underground Railroad. You know we got the event coming up June 3rd. Please let me know you coming.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to definitely be in the building, coming from Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Definitely appreciate what you're doing, Brother Rich. I've been watching Bobby Hemmett for some years now, and I'm a young guy. I've been watching Bobby Hemmett for almost 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 28 years old, So
since 18, you've been watching this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely appreciate what you're doing, man. You definitely got one of my favorite channels on here. So, Red Pill, Blue Pill, I think that they are, kind of carrying that Bobby energy where they're able to just kind of analyze real world events and put it in.
Bobby was good at that, wasn't he? Bobby was good at that.
He was the best. He was the best, man. I miss it. And when these movies be coming out and stuff like that, man, I'd be like, man, I wish Bobby was here to just break this down the way that, because you put trust in him. That he knew that he was the man. So
yeah,
I definitely appreciate you for continuing that Bobby legacy and all of that. And like I said, I'm gonna be in the building. My bad. Coming from Washington D.C.
Okay.
I'm gonna get my man to come up from North Carolina as well. He's been watching Phil Valentine, and he's a big Panic follower, and he's all into the occultism. I'm more so into the alchemy. I like the alchemy and how Bobby used to break down the alchemy and all of that, and the Carl Jung books and all of that. So, I definitely been rocking with y'all for a minute, man. I appreciate the knowledge and what you're doing.
Dope, man. All right, what's your name, brother?
My name is Josh. I go by Yeshua L. Ampu on when I'm online or whatever. I'm also in the funeral business, so that's why I shout out to Ampu Energy from the Comedic Vibe and all of that.
Dope, brother, dope.
Yes,
okay, so I'm gonna see you June 3rd, brother. Make sure you introduce yourself to me.
I will. I appreciate it, brother. Look forward to it.
All right, brother. Peace.
All right.
Peace, family. Welcome to Underground Railroad. You know we got the event happening June 3rd. Please tell me you are coming through.
Hello?
Family, you're here. You're live. What's happening?
What's up, Brother Rich? Everything good?
Yes, sir.
That's good. That's good. Just looking forward to this event coming up. You know what I'm saying? I was at the last one on, I think you did in October at the Slave Theater.
Right.
Yeah, we was there. We was in the building, me and my daughter and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We really enjoyed that. You know what I'm saying? My name is Travis. You know what I'm saying? I met you. I came up to you and spoke to you a couple of times, but this one is definitely going to be off the hook. You know what I'm saying? I'm really looking forward to this. We're going to be there. I suggest that everybody who's listening come and support. We need more events like this, and we need more new creative ideas and just instead of following what else they're doing, let's try our own thing. Let's come up with something different than what they're doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what I'm looking forward to. Maybe with this coming together, we can, come up with some ideas on other events that we can put together to bring in more people, because this information definitely needs to get out there. You know what I mean? I'm definitely looking forward to the event on June 3rd. Like I said, I wish everybody comes out and supports and see what's going on.
You coming with your family again?
Yeah. Me, my daughter. I'm going to bring my brother this time. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a couple of other people, but we definitely going to be in the building. I was at the Dr. Valentine one we did at
St.
the
Francis.
college too,
right.
which was really nice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was definitely on point. You know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely looking to the vendors because, definitely need some new material,
Yeah.
to help support people and keep the creativity going, because that's, the current that we're using, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Current keeps the current going and keeps things moving and motivating and circulating, you know what I mean? I'm definitely looking forward. And, the music that you guys did, man, I love it, man.
Oh, thanks, brother.
Definitely on point, man. You and Cambatta got some nice stuff out there, man. I really like it. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate
bumped that in the car and people be looking at me like, what the hell is that? But, that's what we need more of. It's not that scoop-diddy poop stuff,
Scoop-diddy poop,
make your mind, expand and go to the next level. And I appreciate that because I do music too. And, you try to come up with ideas, but when you're hearing the same cookie-cutter thing, it doesn't really help. But hearing stuff like that opens up your mind and expands it to go to different levels. But I'm not going to hold up your time. I wish you guys all the best, and I'll see you on the 3rd.
All right, my brother. I'll see you then.
All right, peace.
All right, family. Once again, call in. We talking about this event, major event, June 3rd, Dr. Valentine, Aseer The Duke, Brother Panic. These are masters at what they do, each do individually, and they will all be in the building at the same time. This is the spiritual event of a lifetime. I see other groups, organization, races, they have their spiritual conferences and it be huge. They be having like 1,000 people in the building and they be charging $300 for the day and this, and then they have the food and everything. Yo, we gonna do it big. We gonna do it big. Tickets are only $50 in advance. We're gonna have some of the best vendors in the world. We cut it down to just 20 vendors because we want quality vendors. So we're gonna have some of the best vendors in the world there with products. All right, let me answer this call, family. Welcome to the show, Underground Railroad. We know we got the event coming June 3rd. Please tell me you coming through, family.
No, I won't be there, but I did want to talk about the effect that I know it's gonna have.
Okay, go ahead, sis.
Okay, yeah, I just want to say he was definitely right. I do believe that the conscious community has been kind of losing focus. So I definitely think this is going to redirect the ship and put us back focused where we need to be. I feel like there's been a lot of layers put on top of the truth, and he's breaking them back down and just definitely redirecting everybody. So I'm definitely looking forward to the outcome and just to see where the conscious community end up at the, getting back focused and on track. I know that this is definitely, going to affect us all as a whole, because once one person makes a difference, it's kind of like a domino effect. So I'm definitely looking forward to this change in atmosphere.
Indeed. So what has learning about metaphysics done for you personally?
Just like I said, it just deals with the truth of things, and it takes away all the layers. So when I'm able to deal with the truth, I'm actually able to see a difference, working in the spiritual realm or in the mental realm, however, you want to look at it. Seeing me work on that side and then actually seeing effect over here to see results. It's life-changing. It also helped me embrace myself and embrace my reality and who I am and what I see and where I'm at in life, and try not to compare that to others, just deal with what works for me, deal with things, as they are and not from other people's perspective.
Indeed. Well, I appreciate you calling in, sis, and sharing that with us.
No problem. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Peace.
Good night.
Peace, family. Welcome to Underground Railroad. You got to turn that TV down. There's an echo, family. But yeah, you got to turn that down. I can hear the echo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, much better. You coming? I know you coming through, family. June 3rd, man.
Up in New York?
Yeah.
Man, I see about getting up there, man. Last lecture I've been to was Dr. Eileen Bay out there in Atlanta, the one that Brother Panic put together.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was calling in. Is it okay if I leave a comment?
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Low Key from Screwston, and I just something came to my mind a while ago about this, black and white, this classification thing, and not on the legal side, but just on the fact that, just like Brother Panic was saying earlier about principle of polarity, that these opposite polarities are the same essence. So when I see, these group of people that call themselves white, and then they classify another group of people as black, and us knowing that those opposite polarities are the same essence, they just vary in degrees. And then I look at, I'll go in the break room and I see these news shows and all these different shows, and they always have somebody who's black and who's white sitting across the table. Even with Charlemagne and the dude, I forgot the dude's name.
Envy. Oh no. You talking about Schwartz? Yeah,
Schultz.
Yeah, Schultz. Yeah.
Yeah. And so just as from an occult perspective, I know sometimes people can get so caught up in putting so much focus into these people, and as if we're on an equal playing field or as if we're in competition, when when I think about yin and yang and white and black, I just think about the opposite. To me would be the feminine principle, which would be, my lady. Mm-hmm. So that's what I would classify as black, from the negative charge, the negative side to the white side, to the positive side being the masculine energy. So, I'm just saying that to say that I've noticed the game that was being played, because if we look at this group of people as being opposite to us, then that would mean that they'll be going to the same place as we're going when we transcend out of space and time. If we get in the mind that they're opposites or that they're across the chessboard from us, when the only opposite, let's say for me, would be my other half. So, that was just a comment I wanted to leave on there.
Nah, God, that's dope. I'm glad you shared that with us, family. I'm definitely glad you shared that. What's your name again, brother?
Low Key.
Low Key. All right, well, thanks for calling in, brother. Are you getting the live stream? You gonna get the live stream?
Yeah, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna support, definitely.
Yeah, I want the family. This is gonna be an event. I don't want anybody in the world to miss this event who's black, man. Shit. We all need to see this one. I'm gonna make sure this is hot. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but thanks for calling in, brother, all right?
I appreciate it, man.
Okay, peace.
Peace.
Yes, family. Make sure you call in. Underground Railroad, June 3rd. We bringing in Brother Panic, Dr. Phil Valentine, Aseer The Duke. I'm gonna have Aseer on the show soon. I haven't had that brother on the show soon, so I had Dr. Valentine today. Panic did something real quick. I'm gonna get the brother Aseer to come on probably next week. I gotta get the brother a call tomorrow anyway. So Aseer will be on the platform soon. But in the meantime, you can check out that brother Aseer's YouTube channel as well. He does his thing with his information. I think it's Aseer The Duke of Tears. Yeah, just type in Aseer The Duke of Tears, and his YouTube channel should come up. Yes. Let me go take the next call. All right, family. Welcome to Underground Railroad. I know you are coming to the event on June 3rd, family.
No, I wish I could. I'm actually on the West Coast, so I'm gonna try to.
You getting the live stream then, right?
Yeah, I'll probably have to go that route, or figure out a way to make it out to New York.
I hear you, man. So what makes you call in today, brother? What you got on your mind metaphysically?
Well, do we know like any of the subjects of the lectures, like what's going to be talked about?
It's going to be like Brother Panic. He just, I don't know if you've heard him talking earlier, but he's going to be dealing with the virtual reality and how this is a simulation. So he's going to be going into what's the brother's name? Gates, the brother who deals with the string theory. He's going to be going to the string theory and how this basically is a video game simulation and how everything is connected by an unseen thread. So Panic is going his is going to be off the hook. Aseer deals with the science fiction realm. So I got to talk to Aseer to get the exact title. I know Dr. Valentine. Let me tell you, Dr. Valentine, he texted me the name he got. Give me a second, brother.
Is Aseer going to be covering Moorish information too?
I'm sure he's going to put it in there. I'm not sure, but we're keeping it metaphysical. So it ain't going to be if he finds some way to thread it in there metaphysically, but it's definitely going to be a spiritual conference. So I'm not sure how much he's going to put in the Moorish information. But Dr. Valentine's presentation is called Re-Examining the Authenticity of Reality, the Aristocracy of Evil and the Plain Flat Truth. So yeah, so that's his lecture, and he gave me a preview of it, man. It's one of them classic like light code lockdown lectures, man. So Phil's is going to be off the hook, man.
That's what's up. That's good to hear. Is there any way to get? I know you guys did a lecture back in like November of last year, and I wasn't able to make it. Like, is there any way to still get that, or is it kind of like a one and done kind of deal?
Yeah, that's on the Patreon page, on my Patreon page. Those is for the people that support the platform and, make a monthly pledge. They get some special things that nobody else has access to. So it's on there. It's on there right now as we speak, as well as many other videos.
All right, I'll definitely have to check that out.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you calling in, brother.
Yeah, keep up the good work, Rich.
All right, thank you, brother. Peace. All right, family. Once again, I'm going to take a few more calls. I see Red Pill in the chat room, man. Shout out to Red Pill. Red Pill, man, call in, man. You hotter in the chat room, Red Pill, man. Call in, man. I was supposed to go to Harlem today, y'all, to see Red Pill, but I didn't get a chance to make it to Harlem. I stayed in Brooklyn. I was born in Brooklyn, y'all. I was born in Harlem. I lived in Harlem my whole life, but I moved to Brooklyn a couple of years, about a year and a half ago. So I just been living this Brooklyn life. A lot of culture in Brooklyn. I'm loving it right now where I'm at in Brooklyn. A lot of culture, a lot of cultural events happening in Brooklyn. So shout out to the borough of Brooklyn. Also shout out to Harlem. Harlem kind of made me who I am. So, I got to shout out Harlem. But yeah, family, make sure you call in, family. The calling number for those, where's this calling number? 718-865-8514. We dealing with metaphysics. We dealing with the occult realm. We dealing with this conference that's going down June 3rd, the Once in a Lifetime conference with Brother Panic, Aseer The Duke of Tears, and the one and only Dr. Phil Valentine. And like I said, Phil, man, I had to talk with Phil on the phone, man. This is gonna be vintage Phil right here. We haven't seen Phil like this in a while. So this is vintage Phil that we're gonna bear witness to on June 3rd. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Dr. Phil Valentine's presentation on June 3rd. But yeah, family, make sure you call in. I'm about to wrap it up. I'm trying to put this number. Oh, there we go. Yeah, let me take this call. I think I'm gonna be on here about 20 more minutes, family. Oh, this Red Pill. Yo, Red Pill, what's good, brother?
Peace, my brother. How are you?
Yo, man, I seen you in that This Is America video dancing, brother.
You sing my funky moves, right?
Yeah, man. I seen you dancing, man. I seen you doing the Jim Crow dance.
Negro, don't be shy. Go ahead and tell the people what you said about the video.
Brother,
we ain't gonna be.
Brother,
we're not gonna be shy.
I did a whole show with Griff. Did you see the show I did with Griff?
I started listening to it today.
Brother,
I ain't finished
that video was genius. That's one of the greatest videos I've seen. The amount of
stuff. I just want you to put that on record.
The amount of layered symbolism in that video was crazy.
Back.
I mean, symbolism on top of symbolism on top of symbolism on top of symbolism. Now, everything outside of that, they sent me some crazy pictures of Childish Gambino. I'm not commenting on that at the moment. All I'm commenting on is the symbolism in the video. That's what I'm commenting on. Let me
That's right.
let me take this call while you're on the line, Red. Hold on. Peace, family. Welcome to the show. Please tell me you coming out June 3rd to the lecture.
Yeah, what's up?
All right, family. You coming out? What's up? You coming out?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me get this straight. Let me get this. Hold on. Let me get this right.
Brother, you got to be ready when you call in.
I'm on. Am I live? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
No. Look, I'm actually in New York. I'm in the Bronx. So.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So look. Yeah. I actually missed pretty much the whole live, and it's crazy. I didn't realize you guys was live until just now. But yeah, I'm around. I'm from around the St. John's area, but I don't know if I'm gonna be coming. Yeah, I gotta purchase that ticket somehow, man. That would be a great thing to really come. But I don't know if Brother Panic is still here.
No, Brother Panic. He had to go to the movies. He went to the movies with his queen. He done left.
Yeah,
Oh man. All right. Well, no. I'm gonna definitely catch the replay because I just, I'm a young dude, but I've been on this whole thing ever since I was young anyway. So yeah, it all makes sense. It all hits real close to home. There's no doubt about that. This is what I'm supposed to be learning, and this is where I'm supposed to be at in my life.
What are you studying right now in terms of metaphysics? Like, give me a book or a topic or a subject.
Well, actually, I called in because the topic of the video really is really like synchronizing with what I'm studying right now, which is like the whole dark side aspect of metaphysics. Because like I did step into this searching for like myself and a higher power and all that, but and not to say that I'm not finding that, but it's just like a lot of the mainstream metaphysics stuff is love and light, but we have to. I feel like that dark side is something that we don't really acknowledge and that we haven't really tapped into and recognize that there's power in that too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Look, I'm glad that he brought that up. I'm glad that he brought that up.
I'm actually listening to the same sort of stuff, but Bobby Hemmett right now. So yeah, like these past couple of days, I've been listening to like his dark side lectures, his Satanism lectures, and once I get off the phone, I'm gonna probably run this back and then catch another Bobby Hemmett lecture about the dark side right after this. So yeah, that's definitely, you know what I'm saying. I think we all really need to come into our power, and who knows if this world is worth saving or if we can save it. But I think that if we are going to save it, then, that's going to be like the modality that we do it through. It's the dark side stuff. Because you know what I mean? Like,
indeed,
they've hidden it. They've hidden it from us.
Indeed.
And they're
that's right.
to be a reason why. Yeah.
Well, thanks for calling in, my brother.
May the force be with you, bro. Young Anakin, young Padawan. I can feel the force through the phone. But look.
Yeah, go ahead, Red. Go ahead, Red. Man, I think I might have hung up on Red Pillar. Red, if you there, call back, Red, because I think I hung up by. I know I hung up by accident. So, Red, if you there, call back, and I'll pick up the phone. Once again, family, is going down June 3rd. Dr. Phil Valentine, Aseer The Duke, and Brother Panic. Y'all don't want to miss this. Trust me. Yo, Red, you know what's been helping me out a lot lately?
What's that?
You know what's more important? You know how we always hear about grinding and doing this or
get into the bag.
Get into the bag, or we got all these
outside of that rat race.
We got a lot of catchphrases that we say, be positive or whatever. You know what's the best thing you could do if you want something to manifest in your life? Just be in alignment. Being in alignment is so important. Man, I don't know if they know what being in alignment means. I don't even know if I'm able to explain it the way I want them to understand it. But what I will say is you could go research that for yourself, what's being in alignment. Esther Hicks and all of them talk about that. But being in alignment with what you matching that frequency of the thing that you want, man, it's so important, man. It's so important, man. It's so important, Red. For real.
Mm-hmm.
Magical things start to happen. Yo, you know what I don't like though? Sometime, Red. Sometime if I know, say I just read something real inspiring in a book, and I'm like, and then I'm like, yo, all right, I feel enlightened. I feel like okay, I'm getting there. I'm about to reach the next level. Something to happen in my life that'll try to make me pay attention to the bullshit again. You know what I'm saying? Like as soon as I feel enlightened, some bullshit might happen, and then I gotta make a choice once that bullshit happens. You know what I'm saying? And if I go ahead.
Sometimes it was brought up earlier where they talked about duality and the fact that we live underneath that law, or we live within that law. You know, the Hermetic principles, they speak of the universal laws. One of the laws of duality, you see it play out in left and right, male and female, you know, white and black, like the brother mentioned. You know, this polarity or this duality that there's always has to be an opposite. So it's like it's like a statement that I made before where I say, like, when people see people at award shows and they're always winning awards, they get the Grammy that they've been toiling for all of these years, and there's always a family member or there's always a tragedy that sometimes follows that. And then people, like Panic was saying earlier, they give white people who they don't know, who, if they even knew who they was, they don't want no smoke with them. They say they the ones that did it. They sacrificed their mother to that person because they got a Grammy last night. I knew it. You know what I mean? They had to give up a family member for an award. I'm like, I don't know if it's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just that way that the pendulum always swings in a lot of people's lives. It's like, you know, don't envy me if you see me up here getting this award, because you don't know the shit that I'm going through. You don't know you don't know the fight. You don't know the wars that I'm having.
Right.
You know.
That's true.
So it's like, life is going to test you. You feel me? Life is going to test you when you become enlightened. When something reveals itself to you, there's always, not always, but there's sometimes a force, right, that's going to challenge your reality. Because you're breaking out of the simulation by doing what? By being enlightened, and by being enlightened, you can get in alignment. Like you were saying about the alignment is a magical place to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's when you starting to think about things and they just completely manifesting. You got something on your mind, or you're thinking about somebody, and your phone rings, and that's somebody, and I'm not your stalker, not the person who calls you 20 times an hour.
Right.
Somebody who you have not seen, you know. The benefit of being on 125th Street is it allows a lot of those moments, a lot of that alignment to manifest, because I'm in a stream. I'm plugged into a stream, standing right there on 25th, across the street from that Apollo. That's a stream. It's like almost your stroll on your phone. I see all kind of people every day at all times. It's hundreds of people walking by me. So the possibilities in those hundreds of people are immense.
Mm-hmm.
So as an entrepreneur, as a business, I know if I have an item and I'm out there in a stream of people, and I know that making $10 or $20 or $30 or $100 an hour, you can do the math, you know what I mean? And you could justify saying, yo, I mean, I can work for myself and just plug into the stream.
Right. That's facts.
Yeah, but I want to say this one thing. I don't want to lose this thought. I want to speak about the importance of June 3rd and how it's basically, you know, they say life is a cycle. It's not linear. It's centrifugal. It goes in cycles. So 10 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at your roster. Look who's on your roster, and this is how the ancestors work. So around 10 years ago, these three brothers were residents of New York City, right? And always keeping it, because we always have to keep the importance of what us standing on certain grids does to that grid, how it makes that foundation what it is, how, you know, the content that's coming out of that grid or that place, how it's at a certain frequency. So when certain people were living in New York was at a certain frequency. That's facts.
That's
the level of information coming up out this month. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When LIU was on fire, we're talking 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because it's right around the time of 8 where a lot of the the teachers started leaving. AA left New York. Dr. Valentine left. Panic left. Aseer The Duke left.
Well, I ain't there. I never thought about it like that. That's interesting.
And with them, because remember, they were heating up. They were in the, I don't know if people realize this or not, but Dr. Valentine at his height was one of the most requested, one of the most respected, and one of the most studied and listened to teachers of an era, this era that we recognize as, right, this conscious, you know, the birth of that conscious community, which, you know, is conscious community now.
Right.
High levels of metaphysics. And then you had the duality, going back to duality. You had the light and you had the dark, or the proverbial light and dark, because Phil brought the light code transmissions. Bobby brought that dark magic matters. He brought that darkness to you. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He gave you that dark shit. So keep in mind, you have to remember, family, we're talking about what teachers were savvy enough, what teachers were hip, what teachers were wavy enough back in the days to capture the ears of street niggas. I ain't talking about myself only. I'm talking about the streeters of the streeters, the gutter, but not the worst of the gutter, the lotus flowers. Because remember, things grow in darkness. We talked about this. We had these conversations before.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So they brought the streets. Bobby and Phil brought the streets in. And then the young students who became the teachers, they took over when the master teachers left, handed it over. The changing of the guard, you see the elders making transitions in high numbers. That means that there's an era that's being transitioned into. You feel me? People are becoming young elders. So the overwhelming cry from around the world, around the galaxy, on some Thanos is coming type shit, right? On some Infinity Wars. And yeah, I know you didn't see it yet, but I ain't gonna tell you. And you know, the people know that they see what's coming. They see the enemy at the gates. And they're like, yo, we need help. Like, the information is coming out. It's not enough. So by bringing these three brothers back into their rightful spot, BK, Brooklyn, where a lot of them transmissions took place at LIU, and that's not a borough thing. It's just a different level. It's a different energy that came out of the Brooklyn consciousness, and it was a whole different way of teaching, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
Harlem there's a different, and it's more cultural, has a different kind of energy. Metaphysics and occult and some other things, a lot of more science and stuff, that was BK.
It's Brooklyn.
You know,
BK.
Yeah, and it's completely gone. It's not even there right now if you think about it. You know what I mean? So, yeah,
wow.
Them brothers coming back is going to raise the frequencies of the students who have identified themselves as not being in just the conscious community, but identifying to being on the path of enlightenment. You know what I'm saying? Not being on bandwagons and, you know, just playing all kind of peanut gallery games. Not being, you know, at the motherfucking Barclays Center when the WWE is in town to see the SummerSlam. Not that shit, right?
What?
The people who are the doers, not the thinkers, not the talkers. You know what I mean? The doers. So we know the quality of membership that exists, you know what I mean, has been underserved. Nobody's out. They're not being fed. You know what I'm talking about? Like nobody's feeding that deity. So
Indeed.
we're gonna set the altar up on June 3rd. The altar gets set up. You feel me? And we got to jumpstart this thing. You know, because we're going into 2020, and like the brother said earlier, he wants to take that journey into because what is man know thyself if it's not occultism, which is the hidden. What is the hidden? Nigga, it's you hiding from yourself, your shadow self. It's you. You know what I'm talking about? It's that dark side that only you know. And I don't want to know that, name. Nobody, we don't want to, you know your dark side, and that's what it is. That's the hidden. And the metaphysics is, you already know, that's the study of self as well.
Let me take this call real quick, right? Let me take this call.
Yeah.
Hold on. I don't want to hang up by accident. Peace, family. Welcome to the show. Let me know what's on your mind. I hope you're coming out June 3rd to the event.
Panic, what's going on, man? This is Ali Baba Haru.
This brother Rich. This ain't Panic. This brother Rich.
Oh, this is brother Rich. Rich, what's going on? I don't think I'm gonna be in the country then. To be honest with you, I'm thinking I'm gonna be in Barbados.
Okay.
I just wanted to call, man, let you know I like what you do. I watch you periodically. I try to support you and the brother. I'm originally from Brooklyn. I'm down here in Naples, Florida now, but I see y'all was talking about metaphysics, and it was a young lady that called in earlier. You asked her a question, and I listened to her reply, and it's obvious she didn't know what metaphysics is all about. So, without going, I mean, it's a long discussion, to be honest. So, but to keep things short, metaphysics is dealing with the 7 chakras of the human body and the science of the body. This is the Metatron cube. And if you go into my chamber degrees, Napuki Omre Kinetics, I go in further in detail about this. And one other thing I wanted to speak on, as in race, group, collective. This is something that's right in people's face. It's always been in their face, and they haven't realized it. There's a way to galvanize people. You know, people are always talking about, yo, when we gonna do this? When we gonna get this right? Well, there's a way to galvanize people. They've been galvanized this way since the beginning of the earth. And you read all the ancient texts, they always tell you that musicians were looked at as sorcerers. And even to this day, you see how music dictates the behavior of the youth and the old. That is your answer. I put a parable in chat, and I was thinking that some people in here may have knew what I was saying. And what I did was I said, let me read what I wrote. I wrote lay a money symbol. You know what a money symbol is, right?
Yeah.
I said listen to me now. Lay a money symbol down on the equator. Let Aries guide you until you Capricorn. That's your light and dark energy right there. For people who understand what I'm saying. You got 12 dimensions of that. That's your zodiac. You got 6 up and 6 down. You know, the darkness starts with the Haru from August going into September. That's where the darkness starts. So, like I said, that's Nupuki Omre Kinetics for people who serious about learning. I don't charge nothing. I ain't into that. Freedom and liberation is free. I've been doing this for years. I'm 54 years old. I'm not one of these kids. So, like I said, it's free. It's there for you. And for anybody else that want to, read. Also, I can be reached on Instagram at PitchNova9. When you can reach me on Instagram,
Red, you hear this?
See there's some readings there also.
I hear you, brother. You definitely wanted to plug yourself with this phone call, brother. So
No, I'm
yeah,
not plugging.
shout outs to what you
Hey,
do, brother.
Rich,
Give your Instagram.
Rich,
Give your
Rich,
Instagram one more time.
Let me tell you something. Let me make something clear to you.
Yeah.
I'm a multi-millionaire, son. I've been
Woo.
plugged since the 70s. If you think I'm bullshitting, go to my profiles and you'll see this. About this shit my whole life.
There
So
you
I
go,
don't know
brother.
what you talking about, some plug.
There you go, brother. All right, give your Instagram one more time for the people, brother.
That's Nakuki Only Kinetics. My name is Ali Baba Haru. I can also be found on Instagram at PitchNova9.
Okay, brother. Enjoy your night, brother. Thanks for calling in.
And like I say, no charge. Everything's free with me.
Yes, sir. There you go, brother. All right, peace.
Peace.
All right, family. Welcome to Underground Railroad. This is Brother Rich and Red Pill on the line. Please let me know you coming out on June 3rd to the conference.
Hello?
Brother, do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, what's happening, brother?
Peace, Brother Rich. Peace, Red Pill, man. I listen to y'all all the time, man. I'm sending my love, man, from upstate New York. You feel me?
Okay.
You feel me? But yeah, Brad, what you was talking about, man, about like how you feel me, like certain energies and certain ley lines within the world. You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm in upstate New York, and I be telling people that all the time. Like I like to go to a certain park and meditate, and I like to go there and meditate sometimes and shit. And I be telling people, but niggas don't really be connecting with what I be saying and shit. So.
You know,
what's a good way I can approach people, like, to just try to, like, ease them into, a different type of lifestyle?
Do you have social media?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the best thing you can do is demonstrate. They handed you a tool that you can show the world your lifestyle and what it is that you do. And remember, you're doing these things for what? For your knowledge of self, the knowledge of thyself.
Yes.
You're having these experiences. Why? Because the information appeared to you and made itself known to you, and you understand, and then now you're going to have the experience with that knowledge of, hey, if I go and chill on this grid right here, not only am I going to charge it up, but it's going to charge me up because I understand that the earth, because remember, people are just caught on the Google map mentality. Slaves to, to this machine, slaves to that matrix, not really looking at it from a natural nature standpoint, where you'd be like, yo, I want to go wherever there is no buildings and just nature, because that's where the energy is going to be more alive at versus on the concrete, you know what I mean, where there's a 100-foot story building standing on top of it. Right, so you go to these grids. Do you have any lady friends who are into the things that you're into, knowledge-wise?
Yeah, that's another thing. Like I feel like females are levitating towards the whole conscious movement more than the masculine energy. You feel me? For some reason, like I feel like it's easier for me to just break down certain things to a female than if I go talk to one of my homeboys. You feel me? Not to jump all around either, but another thing is, like, I noticed a lot of people getting sick around me. And I try to tell people, like, yo, it's a spiritual thing. Like, most people don't realize that when you get sick, you're actually being attacked in the spiritual realm. You feel me? So
exactly.
I be trying to tell people, like, yo, you got to start connecting with the herbs and shit like that. And I feel like sometimes when I tell people certain things, I almost start to feel the sickness. Like, these certain spirits don't want me to speak certain light codes and light energies to these people. So exactly. I was wondering, like, what's something I could do to protect myself a little more when I am trying to help other people around me. You feel me, right?
You have stones. Do you wear stones? Carry stones? Have stones for protection?
Yep. I'm just getting into my crystals and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have crystal pistols. You know what I'm saying? Carry that like you carry a motherfucking mop and a broom. You know, if you know what I'm talking about with the 30. And what you should be doing with those people who are who are getting sick around you, maybe they're becoming, maybe that is opportunity presenting itself for you to be the healer. Maybe the sickness is being, you know, it's manifesting in your presence because you are the one with that answer. You have the remedy. You have, you know what I mean? Maybe it's less talking and maybe a presenting of just healing one of your friends or somebody that you know who trusts you. Say, yo, you know what? Instead of going that route, why don't you go ahead and take this? Or this brother here is selling this. He has this liquid gold. You have migraines, you know, things like that. Maybe you can help people out because remember, you're being exposed to the information. There's people on Rich Show coming on saying, yo, super greens. And there's healers coming on. There's people who come and do readings. All of these different entities or solutions are being presented to you in the forms of teachers or brands that are being sold in the beginning of the video, at the end of the video. You know, it's whatever's being advertised, it's being, you know, so it's up to you to use that key to turn that lock. Because right now you're being locked out, like it's saying, you're feeling like you're being attacked and it's not working. You have to go ahead and use that key. You know what I mean? Because present them with the information. Oh, that's your only job, is to present the person with the solution. You have to become the algorithm. Okay? If you're going to be surrounded by people and you're taking this gargantuan tax to fucking save everybody, you know what I mean? You want to throw the cape on, and that's a good thing. It could work. You have to protect yourself. You have to take the responsibility of protecting yourself. It's not only going to be crystals. I suggest, you know, getting into spiritual readings, going to get a reading by somebody who you trust and is verified and certified. Not them niggas you find on Craigslist. Yo, you know, they got, real talk, they got the free newspapers in New York, and in the back is wild Africans in the classified that are doing readings, like, right there.
Well, I want to thank you for calling in, brother. I appreciate the call, brother.
You, bro. All right.
All right, peace. Peace.
Yeah. Salute.
Indeed,
he said
indeed.
He's coming to the event, right?
Yeah, he's coming through.
Okay.
Yeah, I seen the sister Ella. You know the sister Ella, right?
Ella Samora.
Yeah, Ella Samora. Yeah. I seen you in the chat room. I'm looking through the chat room right now. I seen you post some comments. Call in, cause you got me to call. Oh no, yeah. Let me post the number for the family. Yeah, 718-865-8514. But if Ella is still in the chat room.
I would love somebody to call in who were going to the lectures in New York in the early 2000s and saw Brother Panic live, or saw Dr. Phil Valentine, or saw Aseer The Duke live, because Aseer put on some classic lectures in New York back in the days.
Oh man, did he, man? When he came through with that comic book, the Science of Superheroes.
Yo, the Science of Superheroes was his first lecture. I believe, legend.
Yo.
I think he opened up for Bobby. Yeah, that was legendary.
Word up, man.
I've learned from each one of those teachers, you know what I'm saying, immensely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what Phil Valentine did for us, that goes without saying.
For real, man.
He turned. You know when you had the lights on, but then somebody come and turn the attic lights on?
It was like that, huh?
You feel me? Yeah, he turned the attic lights on, and when I went into the attics, I discovered the treasure that was fucking with that.
Yeah. Let me take this call, Red.
Yeah.
Peace, family. Welcome to the show. What do you have to say to the family?
Peace to the brothers out there, Brother Rich, and the pills.
Yes. You coming out June 3rd, brother?
I'm going to try my best, man. I just got out of work, so I don't know what y'all was talking about. I got on YouTube real quick, seen it was live, so every time I try to call, I never get in. I'm in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I'm like, oh, man, I'm going to try. I call like, man. Hold on. I love what y'all doing. I love Brother Phil. You know, I'm always on it, man. I watch everything, and I'm out here, in Connecticut, trying to spit the gems with everybody. Some people with it, some people not. They just not on. It's only like 5% of us, maybe less than that. They they're in another world, man. It's crazy.
All right.
Well,
Well,
you the X-Men.
Yeah, we the X-Men. We the
X-Men. Condons out here. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
That's how you gotta see it. Because I guarantee you this. They're gonna come around to you faster than you're gonna come around to them. Meaning that I've been in this shit for a very long time. Trust me when I say it. The same people that you hollering at right now, like, yo, let me tell you how your melanin is popping. Hello, excuse me, miss.
Yeah.
I see your chakras.
But you know what's good about it though? I got my mother listening. They older. They in their 50s. My grandmother, she in her 70s.
Dope.
Those different generations, they stuck in their ways, but they're listening now. It took them to go to church, and their pastors is even on this stuff. So now all of a sudden, everything I was telling them years ago, they're like, oh, even my pastor put me on the X, Y, and Z. But it took their time. I was mad at first, but now I was like, you know what? As long as they got the message. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
plant the seeds and life will water it.
There it is. Even my daughters, they younger, they on that new stuff or what, I'm into that old hip hop, but even them youngsters, they listening. Not all of them, but some of them. But we getting there, man. You know what I'm saying? I respect everything y'all do. Like I said, I don't know what the topic was about because
it's all good.
It's
all good. I
appreciate y'all brothers, man.
I appreciate you calling. I appreciate you calling in, my brother.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
All right, peace.
Peace.
All right. Now, Red. We got the sister Ella. You there? I had the sister Ella on hold.
Yes, beloved, I'm here. How you guys?
Beloved.
What's happening, sis?
How y'all brothers doing tonight? I'm just sipping my tea. You're
doing better now.
Say that again. Oh, let me turn.
I said we're doing better now.
Yes. I'm definitely gonna be in the building. Phil Valentine, Brother Panic. Brother Panic was one of my before Bobby Hemmett. Brother Panic, was one of my metaphysical teachers as well. So I didn't catch, I wasn't there for October. So I'm definitely gonna come. Aseer The Duke, he's been on the map forever. If you guys are not up on him, y'all gotta get up on him. He's a real good and educated brother. So yeah, I'm excited about that. That lineup. You got a very good lineup coming in. So yes, I'm definitely, looking forward to this good event. Yeah.
What do you think is the most important thing that the sisters should be studying right now? Is there anything in particular you think black women should be into right now or studying right now to understand who they are?
You know what? I think that a lot of our sisters need to focus on their womb.
On their what?
On their womb, on their uterus, on the reproductive system. Because a lot of emotional and psychological issues that from experience from my clients. I find that a lot of depression and sadness and stress are coming from the relationships that we have been dealing with. You understand, from different men that are not loving us, that are not caring for us, or it just didn't work out. So as a result of studying your womb and just cleansing and releasing and healing, I feel like that will, in a sense, life, and as they say, as above, so below. So to the extent that we want to raise our vibration emotionally, spiritually, and physically, we got to work on our lower self. And for the sisters, we got to work on our wounds because a lot of sisters are experiencing miscarriages. You understand? A lot of sisters are not even having orgasms. And that's a problem. You understand? Like, that's really, 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 really an issue. And so I would, definitely, for the sisters, let's get back into womb healing, womb therapy, steam that yoni. Right now, I'm drinking cinnamon and ginger. Why? Because I want that circulation going on down there. Especially too, if we want to bring forth the gods. If we want to bring forth the gods, our womb needs to be intact to bring forth this new generation that's about to be coming through. Or not what's about to be coming through, that's coming through. Yes, like it's really serious with our sisters nowadays. Nowadays, we're not even trusting black men. Why? Because we still, the feelings of that last relationship is still locked in. Because that sexual energy, that shit is real. Like that shit is, what I mean? That sexual energy.
Nah, it's
when
real.
You done broke up with a man or whoever or whatever the situation was, when you're having when you're sleeping with multiple sex partners, like, we got to get it together.
Did you see that article that came out that talked about the DNA lives inside of women with every male partner that they've had?
I mean, Henrietta Lacks. You get what I'm saying? Henry, they still doing stem cells from the sister.
Exactly,
how long ago was that? That
over
was like,
50 years, I believe, right?
Yeah, over 50 years ago.
There's an article that I got in front of me. Can I read it? Because it can explain. Okay. So this just came out the other day. It said, women retain and carry living DNA from every man with whom they've made love with. Women retain and carry living DNA from every man with whom they had sexual intercourse, according to a new study by the University of Seattle and the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center. Now, I haven't done research on those two institutions, but I will. The study, which discovered the startling information by accident, was originally trying to determine if women who have been pregnant with a son might be more predisposed to a certain neurological diseases that occur more frequently in males. But as the scientists picked apart the female brain, the study began to veer wildly off course. As it turns out, the female brain is even more mysterious than we previously thought. The study found that female brains often harbor male microchimerism, or in other words, the presence of male DNA that originated from another individual and are genetically distinct from the cells that make up the rest of the woman. According to the study, 63% of the females tested harbored male micro, and I'm pronouncing this wrong, so forgive me, I'm going to spell it out. microchimerism. So it's microchimerism in the brain. Males were present in multiple brain regions. So 63% of women carry male DNA cells that live in their brains.
Damn.
Yeah, well, that.
Hold on.
If I. Oh, I'm sorry.
Nah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I mean that's the mental side of us, right? So you have the subconscious, and then you have the conscious. That's what I would, just reading and listening to. I'd be like, oh, okay, so they're speaking about the conscious side of us versus the subconscious side of us, because the subconscious side of us is what makes up that female aspect, the image, the spiritualness, and all of that. And then the male side of us, because guys is just all mental and just short thinking and just quick and things like that. That will be the conscious brain versus the subconscious brain. And so, yes, women do have male attributes. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, I agree with that. But then, too, who are they studying on? Is it Caucasian women or black women, or melanated women, or the Asiatic women? Who's the study? What's the study on? Who?
Right.
That's another question.
Yeah. That is another question. They do state who it was studied on too. They say it in this report.
Indeed. Let me ask you, Ella, what do you think about The other day there was a lot of people were outraged and upset about something a sister Issa, what's her name? Issa Rae, is that her name? Red?
Yeah,
Issa.
Issa Rae.
Yeah, she wrote about, black women dealing with Asian men opposed to dealing with black men. It just seems like every week there's something new in social media that gets black dudes talking about black women or black women talk about black men. It's like, yo, we as a race, like, I don't know, maybe I'm feeding too much into it, but it seems like there's like a gender war between us, man, where it's like we're just not getting along right now as a collective.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So, you was about to say something else.
No, well, you pretty much know where I was going with it. I want to, get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it like this, right? Whoever's down with that shit is down with that shit. If you want to separate yourself from the black man, go ahead and separate yourself from the black man. You ain't worthy of the black man if that's what you want to do. Okay.
Right.
Those who is conscious and those who is elevated and those who know their mate and those who know that the black man is your match doesn't even that's what it is. Okay, well, that's what it's gonna be. You get what I'm saying? So you see a lot of celebrities, like Eve and stuff like that, like Janet Jackson, like Serena Williams, like they going with these opposite race, or they going with these Caucasian men, and it's only really for the money. Because spiritually, they're not our match at all. They will drain you, use you, and manipulate you. And if you don't understand that, then you got to just go through the fire, and then you will know that the only person that is for you is the person that looks like you. So you get what I'm saying? Me personally, I never was interested in any other men but black men. You understand? So that right there, regarding to gender wars, and I think that's just a distraction, because a lot of us are rocking our natural hair. A lot of brothers are praising and coming back into respecting the black woman. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, oh shit, you get what I'm saying? Like, they getting it together a little bit. Let's separate them. I didn't even know about that because I don't even pay attention to stuff like that, but that's what that sounds like to me. That sounds like the media understands that melanated people are sticking together, and so we need to create a division between the two. And whoever's going to fall for that division, then you got to play that hand. You definitely just got to play that hand. Let me tell you something. If we are, as we say, gods and goddesses and stuff like that, if we are trying to elevate the not the community, but the society of the generation, we only have to be with our own kind. It can't be with nobody else. The Jews is with Jews. Most Spanish is with Hispanics. You get what I'm saying? Asian, most of the Asians is multicultural, but for the most part, everybody else except us are with each other, are with their own kind. So, I mean, I don't know about that. People got to get their spirit up. We sisters got to get their spirit up, Like, that's not happening. Every time one of my friends talk about, I'm going to get with a white man, I'm like, you crazy ass fucking all out. You crazy as hell. Like, hey, go ahead. We going to use you, manipulate you, and abuse you. All they want is the figure. You get what I'm saying? All they want to do is run their hands through your motherfucking hair, okay, and see what that kink be like. All right, I mean, come on. Let's not like, be sleepy on that one, No.
Let the family know about your services, Ella, because you do something wonderful for the community.
Oh, yes. Well, right now I'm getting myself together because I do the online classes, as many people know, right? I do the Cosmic Connection online classes every month. So with the online classes, I teach you about health and nutrition and how to become spiritual, how to open up your pineal gland through foods and things of that nature, how to read your own natal chart. So I got the online classes going through every month. That's a dope lineup. And then too, I renamed myself. I am a spiritual life coach, right? So I provide spiritual consultations to people. I am a medium, so I do channel. And when you mentioned Esther Hicks, I always listen to Esther Hicks. She's actually a Pisces like me. So I always listen to Esther Hicks, and it's all about alignment. You understand? It's all about manifestation, because where we at right now, like Dr. Blair used to say, it's like we going from kindergarten to 8th grade. Right now, we're probably in like the 5th or 6th dimension. So anything that we're thinking of is going to happen like immediately. So I'm helping people to understand their powers. I'm helping people to understand, listen, get rid of the fucking fear. Like, the fear is what is causing you not to be a god. And it's very simple. Like, I mean, it's simple for me because I have a very good grip on it. But this is, for the most part, I am definitely helping a lot of people to elevate the God in them, So you can always book a reading with me. Oh, I have a YouTube channel as well, right? Ellis Maury. And my Facebook, you can contact me on Facebook, Ellis Maury. My Instagram is Nutritional Healing. So yeah, for the most part, I'm one that is helping and guiding people to, be their true potential. Be at their true potential.
That's right.
Yes. So I thank you. I thank you for telling me to call in, because I was just on the queue. I was just in the chat like, what's going on here? I heard Brother Panic. I love him so much. Yeah.
We always got to hear from you. There's thousands and millions of people that will just want to hear updates from you. You feel me? Because you've been on the show before, so they,
yes,
they know that you out here cooking.
You.
But I'm very proud of you. You already, you already know. We go way back, like ODB and Mariah.
ODB and Mariah.
Absolutely, yes. And thank you, Red, because people tell me that you, in the past, you have recommended me, to get a reading, and your brother too, Blue Pill. So I really appreciate it. Like, that means a lot, that means a lot when people recommend me, because it's like, oh, all right, that's what's up. They, you know what I'm saying? Like, they know I'm working.
Spread
so
love
I
the
really
Brooklyn
appreciate
way.
it.
You already know what it is.
Yeah, so I'll see you guys on June 3rd or whatever. I'm supposed to be traveling again and getting me some herbs. Oh, yeah, I got herbs and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, I got products and stuff from overseas. Yeah, go on my website. Right. I forgot about that.
That's right, go ahead.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to put my website right in this queue, www.samorisherbs.com. So, yeah, I got products from overseas and stuff. The new product out is from Jamaica. You want to get you a blood tonic. You get what I'm saying? Niggas got to cleanse out that blood, remove the impurities and the toxins. And, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people getting that headaches and getting cold for no reason. Cleanse your blood, and stay focused. Right. So, and in the event, my website, I'll put it up. And I will see you brothers at the event. Hopefully I'll be back. But if not, I will definitely do it live or do the live stream. But my intention is to be there. I already spoke to King Simon, like, yo, you think I could just come up at the door? He was like, yeah, you should be good. You should be good. Yes, but I love y'all, for real, seriously. I love y'all so much. Too. Yes.
Okay, sis.
Okay,
I see you June 3rd, sis.
Yes, beloved. Okay, brother. Okay.
All right, peace. Yeah, so Red, is there anything you want to leave the family with before we get out of here, man? We got a big day coming up June 3rd. They've been asking for Metaphysics. It's here. You know what I'm saying?
Is it ever? Thanos is coming. I feel like Thanos is coming.
Oh man! But let me ask you before we close it out. Where are you at, brother? A brother that's been in this community for over a decade. I probably met you in '05 or something like that, '04 or something like that. Where are you at right now? Because just to give the people a reference point, you've seen the ups and downs of the community, the ups and downs of your own personal journey. Where are you at metaphysically right now in your life, Brother Red Pill? Just to let the people know about, this shit is real. This shit just ain't no, I'm going to read 5 books and become a master or something like that, Red. Talk to them.
I mean, I'm on a glorious journey. I'm in a place where, my reference point is, like you said, my inception. I could remember when I came into this whole, I could remember when I heard Dr. Valentine for the first time. You feel me?
Right.
And I know where I was at on my journey at that point. I know how deep in the underworld I was. I know where I was on my hero's journey, on my Heru journey. I know how dark it was. You know what I'm saying? And people around me, they know how dark it was. And not only just me, I have my brother, my twin brother. So I've watched this whole thing evolve out of an idea, out of some concepts that we were having in the early 2000s, right before the towers fell. You know what I'm saying? Like around that time, chilling with Sadie, doing mushrooms, just thinking about the future. And to see how Black Dot's Blue Pill's relationship with Black Dot at the newspaper, meeting up with Chris, going to see AA when he was locked up, all of that is metaphysical. That's all part of the journey. Because remember, I was into Valentine. Valentine already had, you know what I mean? Like the upgrade already took place. The unplugging of the Morpheus to my Neo, it already took place. I already got exposed to the Bobby information, and it was just, it's been a journey ever since. A very uphill journey, almost like climbing up the Himalaya mountains with no hooks or anything, just with your claws. You know what I'm saying? Because people don't know the kind of sacrifice that it took to get where I'm at today.
Right.
And that's for nobody to know. Only I would know, and only, you know what I mean, and only my brother would know what his journey was, but it's up to us to express it. That's why doing the art, putting out the music, being able to just speak about that journey, that in it of itself is a victory. You know what I'm saying? So having a double album in the year of 2018 where me and my brother was able to release a project, you know what I mean? Talking, just expressing ourselves artistically to the world, but on a whole nother level, on a whole nother scale. You know what I'm saying? And to be very relevant around the world on a global scale, people, you know what I mean, talking about they look at you in a whole nother way. Like, that's powerful to me, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like that to me, that's remarkable. You know what I'm saying? To see the impact of what consciousness has on the minds. Like today, I got visited by a family who traveled. The dude is a truck driver. Him and his wife, they from Arizona, B. They came all the way to New York just to come and see me on 25th. People come out there with the hopes just to meet up with the gods and just to build, take pictures, and to support.
Wow. Yeah, that's what's up.
So every morning, when I don't want to get up, when I don't want to do this again, when I don't want to, you know what I mean? When I want to just go and flip hamburgers, talking about at Wendy's, I'm like, I just want to give up. No, but, I live across the street from the zoo. Sometimes I just want to go and fill in a help wanted ad at the zoo and go take care of the bears and the lions and the tigers. But I say to myself, you know what? You gotta, I'm always reminded of the importance. I'm always reminded of the impact. I'm always reminded of the appreciation that people have for not just what I'm doing. When they talk to me, they're talking to me about you. They're talking to me about my brother. They mention, they give a shout out to your mother. You know what I'm saying? I also, with KT is, they'll speak about everybody sometimes. The whole pantheon. I mean, looking at my watch like, yeah, we going 3 hours in, you know. But it's a wonderful thing to see, bro. Because remember, when I married what is known as consciousness, when I made that commitment, you feel me? That oath that I'm like, yo, I'm gonna step into this thing, not from, because when people see old videos of me and my brother, y'all gonna see us in the audience at the Phil lecture, at the Bobby, at the Delbert, at the Hakeem Bey, at the Taj. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're in the audience, we're students. You feel me? We're paying our dues, we're sitting down, we're listening, we're learning. And the work that we did behind the scenes and the things that we were able to accomplish, you feel me? And the mountains that we were able to move, and the platforms we were able to build, and the heights that we were able to stand on the shoulders of the soldiers who are going to go down in history and mentioned in the same sentence as the Garveys, the Elijahs, the Malcolms, and all of the great ones. To stand on these people's shoulders, I'll just give you a reminder, because in those 700 shows that we did in that term of that journey that I'm telling you about, Rich, those 700 shows where we never missed. Remember, you could be my witness. We never missed a Tuesday or Friday when we were doing our podcast. Facts.
No, you never missed it. That's facts.
That was a religion. This was before YouTube. This is the podcast days, like you see in the Matrix when it opens up. He's hearing Trinity and Morpheus through the. He's hearing the audio. He's hearing them through a podcast with Neo. Remember?
Yeah.
And he's on the deep web buying the drugs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in those shows, we had shows with Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. We had 6 classic episodes with Dr. Sabi where he laid out a plan that he told the people to follow even when he's gone.
Word.
We had shows with Dr. Umar Johnson when a lot of people didn't know before the Breakfast Club, way before. Classics. We had shows with Dr. Delbert Blair, rest in peace. A lot of the great ones who are not even here right now. Rest in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dr. Sabi, you know, and it just was, it's like, yo, just bringing that to the people, feeding the people, being there, you know what I mean? Dick Gregory, rest in peace. Remember the Dick Gregory shows? Classics.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat room just said, shout out to 1111 Meditations. Remember y'all used to do that?
You feel me? You know what I'm talking about? 1111 Meditations, the bombs going off.
Shout out Rich Future in the chat
intro
room.
music, like all of that is legendary, B. Like, we got to do a documentary on that whole radio, the Know the Ledge radio. But, you know, we just did a lot of work, man. If you could measure this up, if we could add up the receipts, you know what I'm talking about? Because, you know, everything has a price to it and a value. Like, if I could put everything that I've done in valuation, you know, it's priceless. And the magic part about it, to show you that niggas is really on a black magic, it was all done with my mind. So that's my metaphysical journey, to show you that I'm a fucking beast, because I did this. We made global impact without a budget. The bankrolls, you know what I mean? That's just to get by. That's you know, that's just the shit to survive with. They said, if you God, then do it without a budget. Let me see if you could do it with nothing. The proverbial nothing. Not compared to what these niggas think that it is. It's all with your mind. Everything that I have around me, I know that I've created it. The same way that if I had $100 million, $1 billion around me, it's all in the mind still. It doesn't separate it. So to know that people, we're affecting change, not with our minds, with our intellect, with our creativeness, with the shit that we do. Not from, you know what I mean? Not the other way around. Not by having a budget and having a green screen and make believe in some shit. Doing real life shit, Rich. We out here living our best life. Just being us.
Word up.
And it's cool to be smart now. I come from an era where that wasn't cool. You would get ridiculed.
Yeah.
You might even get beat up and robbed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to hide your intelligence. So we help usher in an era where it's cool to be intelligent, and you actually can't hide your intelligence. You better have that shit front and center, because somebody could come and take your top off.
Word.
You know, so all of the ups and downs, all of the highs and lows, because it's some very when it's low, bro, and when it's high. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and being able to live this life out in front of the world, I don't know if I can ask for anything more. You know, like it only gets better from here.
Yeah, yeah, man. The people, while you talking, man, the people is loving your story, man. They reminiscing, they writing things about KTL. Somebody posted up, or Jermaine posted about Four Corners and your family lineage. So if they know about Four Corners and they know about the 1111, they know about all that. So they up on it, man. They up on the history of KTL and Red and Blue. So yeah, man, it's definitely been an interesting metaphysical journey, and it's just gonna get better. June 3rd, family. Make sure all of y'all are there. My Red Pill's gonna be there with his clothing line. Blue Pill will be there. I think KT's gonna be out the country, he said. I'm not sure. But yeah, everybody's gonna be there, man. All the stars will be in the building. Make sure you're there. If you can't make it, at least get the live stream. You go to usalivestream.com/metaphysical masters. I will have Aseer The Duke of Tears on the program, probably in a couple of days. Yeah, a couple of days or by next week. But stay tuned for that. It's gonna be in. I want to thank Ella. I see she's still in the chat room. Hit up the sister Ella. SayMarieHerbs.com. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching the program. Thanks for Timothy Snipes for just donating $2. Appreciate that.
That's right.
If I got $1 from everybody that watches me, I'll be a rich man. So I can't complain about $2.
To open all your videos with that.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, thanks for
get that. Yeah, family, get that twin album. Go and get that double album, 23 songs. You can stream it live. twinthealbum.com. We'll have it all on the streaming services very soon. Or go to twinthealbum.com. That's that Cambatta executively produced Twin the Album, Red and Blue Pill. Check that out. All right. Go check out that Holy Ghost.
Indeed. Check out the Ghost video. I mean, not Ghost, the Goat video. It's coming soon, man. The people going crazy about the Goat, man. I put the Goat on in the beginning.
Goat is retardo.
Yeah, they going crazy. They going crazy.
The Goat is crazy.
So
shout out to Cambatta.
Yeah, we gonna release the video for Goat. That should be out within a month or something like that. Hopefully it's out the day of the lecture. Who knows? But stay on the lookout for that, as well as many other musical projects coming up in the future. But on that note, we signing out, family. Brother Rich, Brother Red Pill. Peace.